side does
you
not.
have your fucking headphones plugged in and you're talking through your mic and listening through your headphones, but surely you want this played back through your speakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes no damn sense. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn Microsoft put a stupid fucking like weather news bullshit feed. Like it's all left-wing propaganda bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
And then because nobody can
really
figure out what my actual IP address is, it goes to the wrong city anyway. So the weather isn't even helpful.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like, I'm nowhere near that city. That's just a hub for my internet company. So, like...
Oh, gotcha.
The weather there is not anything like the weather here at the time. So, like, if it's 60 degrees there, it'll still be, like, 80 here. You know? So I'm looking at the thing going, oh, fuck you people who live in that city. I fucking hate you.
Well, it could be worse. It's fucking 9 o'clock here and it's still over 100 fucking degrees. So,
Yeah. That does make me feel slightly better, yeah.
I fucking love 80 degrees, dude.
Oh, man, I'm like 2 or 3 days from having air conditioning, sweet air conditioning. And it's really nice because all they have to install is the radiator outside. We already had like a little over half of what it would take installed already.
That's good.
When they replaced the furnace, because they were like, well, we're getting a new furnace, we might as well have it ready to go for AC if we ever want to buy that. We might as well just pay a little extra now and save money later. And boy, did they save money later.
Yeah. Good shit. Yeah, I do tend to forget that like AC is like sometimes an option in other places.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, but from where I'm at, it's just like cars and everything. It's like it's not an option.
You need it. You need it in Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not considered an option.
I'm probably not that far from the southern point where it's like maybe an hour or two below, like south of here. It starts to get to the point where it's like, yeah, you really kind of need air conditioning.
Yeah.
Because the further south in California you go, it's like Northern California, a little like San Francisco and north of it, you can get by without AC. It's not the worst. It's not going to be super fun, but it's not going to be like, oh my God, old people are dropping like flies.
Right.
But about an hour south of San Francisco, you get out of that good coastal fucking temperate area, and boy oh boy, it starts getting real fucking hot. And especially the further inland you go too, because man, being only an hour from the coast here makes a huge difference. If we were further inland, even as far north as we are, it would be pretty hellish during the summer months. I would love if I made a lot of money, I would love to fucking get a little closer to the fucking coast. Also, because there's less stuff to burn out there.
Right. Yeah, not a whole lot of evacuations for wildfires.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful fires that just destroy the fucking state every time. And we're going into another drought year. So it would be a really opportune time for the fires to hit yet again. I'm sure they will not miss their opportunity to burn this state down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's that time.
If not, Antifa will show up to start the fires.
Dude, it's not even Antifa anymore. It's the fucking gender reveal parties, man.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that shit.
Dude, not long ago, I think it was, I forget what state it was in, but they arrested some dude with like 75 fucking pounds of explosives for his gender reveal party. Like, how many fucking pounds of explosives do you need to tell everybody, like, your baby has a penis or a vagina? Like, what fucking point do you gotta be like, hey, maybe this is enough?
Yeah, with that many explosives, I'm guessing it was a boy.
All I know is it was definitely the dad that made that decision.
Yeah, but seriously,
that was not the mom's choice.
Do you think he was buying 75 pounds of explosives? Mm-mm. If it was a girl, he's like, all right, we'll do some fireworks or something. I don't know.
You think if he ran that by his wife, he'd be buying 75 pounds of explosives? You know, his wife would be like, "You want to fucking buy what?"
Knows? You would think not. You would think not, dude. But
I think most wives would be like, "Nah, dude." There'd be like the occasional, "No. Let's see what happens." Like wife, but
yeah, that's a great idea, honey.
But I think most wives would be like, "Yo, dude, it's a gender reveal party. What's wrong with you? You were not buying 80 pounds of a bomb."
Yeah, what are you planning on taking over the Capitol with it too, or?
Yeah, really.
Fucking Christ. I wonder if it was just literally TNT, like 75 pounds of fucking TNT dynamite. Fuck.
I mean, you know how like I imagine it was like 85 pounds of those canister fireworks, the ones that like launch into the fucking sky.
Oh, right. Either way, excessive.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine 80 pounds, because like if you imagine like how much a regular firework weighs, 80 pounds is probably like at least 20 or 30 of those fucking ones that they set off when like a whole city sets off their fireworks. I mean, it's gotta. I mean, they can't weigh that much.
Yeah, it's fucking huge, man.
Yeah, it's all cardboard and gunpowder and explosives and fuses and shit. I imagine each one's got to weigh like maybe 2 pounds, 3 pounds at the very most.
Yeah, and this would have been after the fucking other gender reveal parties have set wildfires and shit. You know what I mean? So like even more inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you've seen what happened.
Well,
what the fuck is your problem?
It wasn't in California, so it might be that they didn't really like think about that. Because I mean, that was huge news in California like a few years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that was pretty much nationwide because I fucking heard about it. And it wasn't like it was from you or some, you know what I mean? Like somebody.
No, but I mean, but it was also a few years ago, and people have short fucking memories. So I don't expect someone in like Alabama to fucking really genuinely like ruminate on the fire that started in California because of a gender reveal party. I just assumed that like, you know, they were like, "Oh, that's terrible. I feel really bad. What's for dinner? Are we having steak tonight, or is it burgers?"
When they started planning the gender reveal party, that would jog their memory. Like, oh yeah, this turned out really bad. Now I remember.
Oh, you're assuming people have common sense. That's the mistake. I find that common sense is very uncommon.
Good point.
People are too fucking stupid. I mean, the kind of guy that's going to buy 80 pounds of fireworks for a gender reveal party, and I assume it's fireworks, he may have just bought fucking TNT. Who fucking knows? But
that would be funny. You're like, yeah, I was going to blow up a side of a mountain and uncover a thing that says it's a boy. Man.
That kind of guy, I don't assume is doing a whole lot of thinking. Because it's like, you wouldn't even have to have anything to do with, what do you call it, the California fire. Just like, you should really think like 80 pounds if you give that a second thought. Be like, that might be a lot. It might be completely inappropriate.
That might be excessive. Fucking people. People are fucking retarded. That's the bottom line. People are fucking retarded.
Well, oh, okay. Did you see that fucking video with the fucking the pit maneuver? I think I linked to Matt Christensen for it.
Yes, dude.
Is that fucking
Yes,
insane?
dude.
She was following the driver's ed manual to the fucking letter. And this crazy motherfucker pits her car and then starts yelling at her after he flips her fucking car over. Like, what a fucking piece of shit. Like, god damn, dude, you're a real piece of fucking work.
And then he got no fucking trouble. They have that state senator. It's like, it's totally fine. Pit maneuver. Woo!
Totally fine,
really
even though she was
that?
doing exactly what she was supposed to do in that situation.
You don't pull over when there's a fucking, a block thing like that, and, you wait until that ends. Yeah, she did exactly what she was supposed to do. Put on the fucking hazards and was going, waiting until she got past. I assume she was waiting until she got past, where those barriers were on the side of the fucking road.
Yeah.
Exit or whatever. Yeah, the fact that dude got in absolutely no trouble, and even after the fact.
That she did not violate the law, thus he had no justification for that action whatsoever.
Yeah, he's the one that didn't bother to fucking learn the fucking the rules.
I'm just glad that that's getting some news coverage, because it's like so many of these stupid cases. It's the police are right, and they make this big stink out of it, and it's the police were completely right, and it's like I'd like to see more coverage of the ones where, like, if you're going to complain about the police, show me a situation where they're actually wrong. Like this one, they're clearly in the wrong.
Well, if it was a black woman or a black man, and any minority, really.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You would have heard about it.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. No. They'll
that
never...
guy would already be sentenced. That cop would already be sentenced to life in prison.
He would be sentenced to life in prison if the car were full of, like, 4 dudes that were black shooting at him, and he, like, didn't die when he was supposed to. Like, he managed to survive the situation.
Yeah.
Like, you're clearly a criminal. Like the way they're doing it now. Oh, also, Sensoko, what's up, yo? He said the fireworks usually have some clay, like the really big ones, some clay to lay them down, or weigh them down. So that kind of makes sense then. Maybe it wasn't 20, maybe it was more like 10, but still, that's a fucking lot. Yeah, rotten, dude, media bias is fucking obnoxious. I wish I knew more places to get news where it did not give you opinions, where it just gave you like a fucking ticker tape of just events that have occurred today or yesterday or whatever it gets there. Like I would love to just read like just a very short summary of facts.
Yeah, somewhere where objectivity is at least attempted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Because I don't need to know what the writer's opinion is. I can come up with my fucking own. You tell me what happened.
Like that.
I'll think about what I want to think about that.
Yeah, just the facts, motherfucker.
I don't need you to tell me if I'm supposed to be happy or angry or sad. I can decide.
Yeah, we're big boys. Yeah, that's why I wish somebody like Matt Christensen would have become an actual journalist. You know what I mean? Because he's still, he's pretty good at displaying just the facts, but he's still using sources, you know what I mean, that are biased.
Yeah, it's difficult to find anything that's not leaned one way or the other. Which is, I don't know, like, that's a double-edged sword because it necessitates reading things and watching things from all the different biases to figure out, like, just to have a chance of figuring out what the facts are. You know, because even some of these places will just flat out report things that aren't true.
Guess.
Like, because they'll just report things that are completely false. Yeah, it is basically impossible to accomplish. Rotten sounds. Yeah, that's the fucking scary part.
I mean, because even then, you're going to have all these conflicting sources, so you almost have to guess. educated guess. You know what I mean? But you're essentially guessing which one, what the actual fucking truth is.
Yep.
Fucking world sucks. Is the bottom line.
Yay, world's dead. We're all dead.
I've seen a few. I've seen a few cases that are pretty encouraging as far as people rejecting like race theory and that fucking bullshit. Like black people.
Yeah,
like,
there was a recent
video.
one.
I can't remember.
There was a recent one with the father and daughter talking about.
Yes, dude. That's exactly one of the ones I was thinking of.
What was it? They were trashing the one they're teaching in school, critical race theory. They're like, this is extremely racist. Yeah. It's not teaching you honest. It's completely false. That was the other thing. He was like, none of what they're teaching you is in any way true. And on top of that, it's super racist. And I don't want my kid learning that because I don't want my kid thinking that what color she is matters. It's like, that's you mean actual equality.
Yeah, true equality. Not this fucking Harrison Bergeron bullshit. A fucking, there was another one, and it was from, I think it was from about a year ago, where it was this black chick at like a, not City Hall, but whatever, or maybe it was City Hall. It was basically about, school shit. And she was basically saying essentially the same shit. And it was kind of funny, kind of fucked up, but like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, this fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Like I was literally kind of assuming she was going to be talking shit about like fucking how white people are evil and shit. But she actually, which is my bullshit prejudice,
Well, at this point, it's hard to blame you. But, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, especially.
If somebody's wearing a cop uniform and you think they're a cop, you can't be blamed. And she's wearing a cunt uniform.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the same shit, and she fucking went off on them. Like, you're not going to tell me that I'm less than and I need all this shit. Like, because, again, critical race theory is kind of fucking saying that. You're black. You can't help yourself, so you need a fucking leg up. You need special rules for you.
100% true. What's up, Mr. Ditch Murderer?
Yep.
Oh, there was a really old one that it was similar to that, where it was a video where like the chick looked like she was too fucking queer for even like Antifa. And it starts out she's talking about a guy who was falsely accused of rape and talks about how he ended up killing himself. And she's like, this happens to hundreds of guys every year. And you're like, oh, wow, this went entirely the other direction. But that was sort of towards back in the days when like Anita Sarkeesian was relevant.
Yeah, man. Bad old days.
Yes, rotten silence.
That
People who try really hard not to be racist are often the most racist. Oh man.
Yeah, if you're fucking actually thinking about that kind of shit, like thinking about, oh, I gotta be this way. Yeah, fuck. That reminds me of that. There's some kind of study that came out that basically, like most conservatives, when they're conservative white people as opposed to conservative liberals, or conservative liberals, Jesus fucking Christ, white liberals, white conservatives would just talk to black people, they're minorities, the same way they talk to everybody else. But like white liberals would fucking talk to them like infantilizing.
I would love to see a YouTube channel do a video where white liberals are found and then forced to say the shit they say on Twitter directly to a black person. Like black people can't afford to get like IDs, or black people can't get IDs because they don't have the access to the internet. I want to see them say that directly to like a black person and just see the fucking conversation.
Fuck yeah, dude. They get their fucking asses kicked, dude.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
like, you're gonna have to find somebody who's like civil and not gonna just beat the shit out of them for being an asshole. But
who might just yell at him. Good luck with that one. These
yeah, that's
people
true.
are very, very, very prone to violence. They don't like being made fools of.
Let me tell you, man. I have the karaoke group that I hang out with in VR chat. There are a lot of super left wing people there. I have engaged in so many civil, pleasant, and interesting conversations about politics with these people, and nobody gives you trash or calls you anything. Everybody expresses their points of view in conversation, and they keep it civil. It's crazy, and then everybody's still chill afterwards, and it's people on the opposite side. So, like, maybe some of the younger people out there are not as bad as we think they might be. There may be a little bit of hope out there on the horizon.
Yeah.
It may also depend on where they went to school.
Yeah, I think that
those
people need to be more vocal, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is also people from other countries too. So, like, there's a bunch of people from all over the world in the group.
I imagine different parts of the world are more sane than what's going on in Canada and the U.S.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's I forget it's one of the South American countries. I can't remember specifically which one the guy lives in, but it's going the way of communism. It's not I forget what is it? It starts with a V. Venezuela. It's not Venezuela, but it's going in that general direction. And he's like, this is fucking terrible. And he's always like anti-communist, but he's anti-communist to the point of ANCAP. And it's like, oh geez, you were so close to being rational, and he just went the other side. Really nice guy in every other respect. Fun guy to chat with, but.
That's that damn pendulum swing, dude. You go back too far the other way, man.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people on other Discords I'm on talking about if you can't manage to find work that pays more than minimum wage, you deserve to die. It's like, because me and another dude were just chatting about, like, yeah, it's really fucking weird. Like, minimum wage doesn't even cover, like, an actual living wage. Like, it's well below the poverty line. And initially, minimum wage was intended to change, like, on a regular basis, raise as inflation went up. Minimum wage was supposed to also rise with it. Unfortunately, it got at some point set to being relying on Congress to change it every time. It was originally intended to just constantly change so that it would constantly offset the wage gap between the highest and the lowest. As expenses changed, so too would the minimum wage raise, and that would slowly increase the buying power of the smallest or the lowest group of people, while slowly decreasing the buying power of the highest group of people just over time.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been something it should have been something that was automatic somehow.
Every like 6 months or every year or something, it would automatically adjust. Is essentially the way it was supposed to be. Like, that's way, in theory, that's how it's supposed to work. It was never intended to be something that was just like a set it and forget it thing, which is unfortunately.
Or at least have it set to come up automatically every 6 months or every year in Congress, so they have to fucking address it. You know what I mean? Like, counting on them to be like, oh yeah, we got to do that, without having like any kind of reminder.
Yep.
They have an excuse to fucking forget to do it, you know?
Yes. Also, hey, what's up, Mr. Mad Metal Man? You know, as a business owner, I'm curious, what do you think about minimum wage rising on a regular basis to keep pace with the cost of living, so that it's just above the poverty line? Because I hear a lot of people talk about how, like, anytime, if you have raised the minimum wage, all the small businesses are going to close down. But I mean, it's never somebody who actually owns a small business who's talking. You know what I mean? Like,
Mad Metal, don't answer that unless you can come on and answer that, because it sounds like more than somebody should have to type out.
Oh no, I was just going to say either yes, it would ruin my business, or no, it wouldn't ruin my business. I didn't need to be all detailed. I was just genuinely curious, like, from somebody who actually has a small business, like, what do they think about it? Of course, Mad Metal Man is always welcome.
Yay or nay?
It
just seems like something that should be expounded on a little bit. Not necessarily.
Well, it could be, but it doesn't need to be every time we talk about it, you know? And besides, he doesn't have to answer anything.
No, demand you come on, Metal Man, and talk. Oh, fuck.
Use your words. We have not heard those dulcet tones for some time.
Actually, no, he came on last week late, like after you left. Didn't he? He was on last week, right?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure Man Metal came on last. It was
Yeah,
the
pretty
last
sure.
couple weeks.
Oh, since Ocas's minimum wage
can't
needs an
trust my
offset for
memory.
each county to make up for the massive differences in cost of living, I think that would make sense if you were going to do it. It could ruin it, but more than likely my prices would just
that's
increase.
true.
Depends on the number of employees. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured there was like a line that had to be like respected. Like you have to be. I would assume like how fast you do it and how high you do it, kind of thing. Yeah, not last week. 2 weeks. Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you're right. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I knew it was sometime the last couple weeks.
Oh man.
I was pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where
Fucking
it's
horrible.
probably too complicated, but yeah. I just was honestly like, hey, we actually have a small business owner. We should fucking find out from somebody who has an idea of what's going on. Because I've never run a business. I have no fucking idea. The only company I worked for was an assembly company that actually treated us well.
Yeah.
So like, if we reached certain sales points, we actually got bonuses based on how much more extra profit the guy got. You know, like that kind of thing. Or he'd take us everyone out to like a lunch at a restaurant kind of thing. Like at one point we made $1 million in a month and he took us all out to a steakhouse. And got everybody like a prime rib dinner. You know. And he didn't even have to give us anything extra, so, you know, hey.
Yeah, that's a pretty good boss. Is that the one that moved to Nevada or whatever?
Yeah, it's the one that moved to Nevada. Now that, you know, looking back on it, maybe I should have fucking went with the company. You know, the cost of living there was lower, so his wage was that he offered was lower. But I could have worked my way through training and into a management position, probably.
Fuck that. Fuck responsibility. You know how many fucking management positions I've turned down in my fucking life, dude?
Well, in that position, in that company, that would have been a good choice.
Still.
The management there was actually treated very
mine was
well.
like,
So were all the other employees. He actually treated his workers extremely well. It's one of the reasons why it was nice working for that small business. Because he only employed like 40 people.
Yeah, the ones I turned down were like for Verizon and, you know, shit like that.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. No. Like the company I work for instance, minimum wage in California right now is $15.50. It's either $15 or $15.50. I can't remember which. And management only makes like $3 or $4 an hour more than us effectively with their salary. And they have to be available 24/7. Oh yeah, dude, absolutely jump in if you can, Mad Man. Always fun.
But yeah, not required, not necessary.
Yeah, not necessary.
Like you have to, dude.
Yeah, he was just a really nice guy, man. He was. You know, I sat and chatted with him, the owner, a few times. He had a weird fixation on the break room being clean, but like not. Like the countertops and the tabletops were all clean. Like it wasn't sticky or dirty. It was where the employees stored their stuff in these little cubes. He just was like annoyed that they stored all the stuff that they did. He was like, they don't need all this shit in here. It's taking up room. Like, he's just a grumpy old man.
He had a little bit of OCD.
Yeah, he was a little grumpy old man kind of thing. So, and then he did have a valid complaint at one point. We had a lot of different first generation Asians, so like from like Laos, Thailand, Korea, China, and Philippines. A lot of different Asian folks from other countries moving to the U.S. for the first time. Oh, and Cambodia. A couple people from Cambodia too. But there was a lot of people who would microwave stuff with like fish and fish sauce. And I don't know if you've been in a building where that happens.
Oh, fuck you.
But that is a smell that travels and does not fucking go away for at least an hour.
Sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
very,
about.
Very noticeably fish.
In Indian food's kind of like that too. Not necessarily fish, but it's got some fucking smells.
Well, Indian food and Mexican food both have very strong smells. To me personally, they're nothing compared with the odor of fish permeating the room. Fish is just its own special fucking category of awful.
It really is, dude. Yeah.
And I love seafood. I love fish, but man, you gotta have fresh fish, not whatever they were heating up.
Yeah.
No, Mad Metalman, you keep that durian fruit to yourself, sir. I am never going to try durian fruit for any reason. I will take everyone else's word that it is awful.
Yeah. I've heard enough about it. Even that fucking Bizarre Foods guy was like, yeah, this is fucking gross.
Oh, that stuff out of the Nordic countries, Sturmstrong or Durstrong or something like that. The fish.
The fermented fish.
The fermented fish in the
fermented
can.
Fish. Yeah.
I saw a video where a guy was like, I wonder why there's this warning on the can about opening it inside, and he's sitting in his car, and the can is obviously bulging, and he fucking opens it, and it sprays everywhere, and he starts going like, oh no, and then he's like, just for the rest of the video. Oh god, that was amazing. I miss when YouTube had stuff that was still entertaining on it. There's so few it's so hard to find. I know there's a lot of stuff out there still that's good. It's just so fucking hard to find. It's like, I don't want to watch Jimmy Kimmel or a bunch of different people cooking Korean food for some fucking reason. Like, my feed is filled with people that cook it in their homes or like street vendors or whatever cooking like snack food kind of stuff.
Yeah. Or the thing I was talking to you, I had messaged about earlier in the week, where there was a notification on my phone from a channel I had never watched a video from and was not subscribed to.
Yeah, that's a little weird. That's not really appropriate.
Yeah, apparently it's like a new setting, because I went in and checked after that, and there's a setting about like getting notifications for like recommended shit, and I'm like, all right, you can have that. You can even, maybe tell me about it, and maybe I'll turn it on, but don't fucking like add something and then activate it. Like it's going to fucking cause me to not want to give it a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have anyway, but still, like fuck you, YouTube. It really does seem like they're actively trying to get people away from them, dude. It's fucking weird. Or they're just incompetent.
Well, I mean, hopefully sooner or later somebody finally comes up with a video sharing place that has a better GUI. Because right now, the only thing that's preventing me from using any of these other sites is the GUI is just terrible on all of them.
Yeah, they operate fucking horribly, or the search engines don't work for shit. The fucking... Yeah, it's... interface sucks.
Oh, man.
I would love
Anton Petrov for a dose of good news. I will open a YouTube channel and set myself to look for that real quick and just set it aside for later to check out.
I think the way the algorithm is working is that there is no good news. It's designed to make you depressed.
Yeah, oh, well, social media in general this is one of the reasons why I got off of Twitter, and I'm so much happier that I'm not on Twitter. Same with Facebook.
Well, I think it's the same everywhere. Like, if you go, like, on YouTube and if you go on Facebook or Instagram, all of it's... Well, maybe not so much Instagram. It's slightly different.
Well, Instagram is depressing for a whole different set of reasons.
All these Instagram models and workout people.
Well, it's become yet another place for OnlyFans and Patreon. So for the girls that are old enough to sell legit porn, and for the girls that are too young to sell legit porn, to sell content that they create on Patreon. Yeah,
it's like
I'm not just start fucking with the algorithm. just random searches. It's not a bad idea. Oh man, it's Instagram is sort of going down the same sort of thing as TikTok and Twitch, where it's just becoming yet another place for chicks to just sell pussy, essentially. And sadly, with very little discrimination for like whether or not they're even 18 or not yet.
Well, I think, okay, back on the whole, like, everything's trying to make you depressed. I think the reason why that's being done is so that way when you get what is perceived to be good news, you'll just embrace it with open arms. One example being is, I think, the vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Which you apparently are supposed to get every 6 months, as if that's not completely absurd.
Absolutely. Well, it's like life is miserable right now. People are tired of these lockdowns. They just and none of our entertainment is there to entertain us because movie theaters couldn't be open and the streaming services suck. All the content that is on things like on Disney Plus, it's just terrible. I was excited for the Marvel stuff, and then that just shit the bed. So
I kind of wonder if maybe the vaccines aren't as popular as they wanted them to be.
Well, it depends on where you go, because here in my province, things will never go back to normal until 70% of the population get vaccinated, which is a strange number and an unfeasible one. But that's
so they're claiming half of the population in the U.S. has received at least one dose of the vaccine.
I doubt that.
And a total of 42% have been fully vaccinated. So out of the 52%, 42% have been fully vaccinated. I don't think those are accurate numbers. I think those are probably inflated substantially.
Yeah. Well,
so I think it's probably far less than half have actually been willing to get it. And it's probably only in places that have figured out a way around not being able to require it.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention, like, I don't know if you guys had the problem in the States, but here in Canada, apparently schools are vaccinating children as young as 12 without the parents' consent. They said, "Oh, we."
I'd put a bullet in somebody for that, and I'm not. That's not a joke or supposedly in Minecraft or anything. Somebody, if I had a child and somebody decided they were just going to inject shit into them without my fucking consent, I'd put a bullet in everyone involved.
See, I agree. You know, what's been going on? Like what's been going on is that the media is saying it's a conspiracy theory. They're not doing that. There's no way they could do that. And then they're trying to make it seem like, oh, the kid just misheard what they heard. So there's a lot of misinformation going around there. There's parents who have no idea what's happening, and the kid says they stuck a needle in them. But I mean, we do like the regular normal vaccinations that go out. Those do happen in schools at kids as young as 12. I got mine when I was about that age. But those are just like the regular. Like the generic like polio.
They did vaccinations in schools when I was a kid too, but your parents had to be there.
Yeah, well, my parent didn't have to be there. She did have to sign off on it though.
Yeah, your parents had to sign off on it, but they also had to accompany you to the place.
Yeah.
That's weird. Well, then again, that was in the 80s, so it was obviously an entirely different time. So.
No, mine was in like the 90s, so that's when I got mine.
But you were still sort of in some sane times, though.
Sort of, yeah.
So you probably don't have any microchips in you yet.
No, I don't think microchips were affordable to do back then. Also, I don't believe it's microchips, but I do think, like, I was listening to a segment from a podcast. What was it? I can't remember what it was called. It was like Brett Weinstein. He's that scientist and all that. He was sitting at a table with two other scientists in the field, and they were looking over on the vaccines and like, this is not safe by any stretch of the imagination, because one of the side effects of the vaccine, which they don't tell you, is that it will actually weaken muscles in your heart, and it'll do more damage over time.
Yeah.
And and the things that they'll tell you is like once certain damage has been done to the heart, it never comes back. It's damaged forever. So doing this and doing it to kids as young as 12, not good at all. So, but they were also saying how they've been like trying to get a hold of anyone at like the CDC or anyone else from the medical communities, and they know and they don't care. No one, like, They know that there's
every 6 months in Soka, you got to get the vaccine updated.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing with the vaccine: that type of vaccine has never worked correctly in the history of all the times they've tried it. Like, it's not even really a vaccine anyway. It's not intended to prevent you from getting COVID. It's just supposed to make your symptoms less extreme. However, every time throughout history of trying that type of vaccine, even on that virus specifically, it has always made the symptoms when you catch it from like a random source substantially worse, like dangerously worse.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, if you just look at the science, you'd have to be absolutely out of your fucking mind to get something like that hasn't been tested thoroughly and proven not to do that.
I don't remember who I heard this from. Because apparently, apparently this Delta variant that's been going around there only attacks people who have had the vaccine.
Yeah.
I
and also this was an engineered virus, so how do we know that it's not designed to do exactly what it's doing, infect only the people with the vaccine after this? And then you have to get a shot every like 6 months, or it gets worse and worse and worse. Like.
Yeah. It was designed for. I'm so glad
they designed it to encourage repeat business.
Yeah.
Well, I found out the other day that Fauci, for the vaccine, he has a patent on it. He listed that patent before the virus even got out. So he's actually profiting off of every shot.
Yeah. Oh no! All the people that are involved in trying to force this shot on people make tons of money.
Mm-hmm. And like before, like his argument of saying, "Well, I didn't actually patent it; it was this other company." It's the third party thing that he tried, like the same bullshit of like, "Oh yeah, we never funded the Wuhan lab. It was this other company that we totally funded, and they sent that money to them." So you had a middleman, okay, but you still sent the money out.
Yeah, I don't doubt for a second that this was intentionally released to make tons and tons of money.
Well,
that it fucked over Trump was only like a pleasant side effect for them. I think this is something they did intentionally to attack the U.S.'s economy and other countries as well, because China would have destroyed its own economy if they hadn't let it out.
Well, I don't think it was released intentionally. I think it was released accidentally too soon. Because
you think it was supposed to not get released for a little while longer?
Yeah. I think that they so I don't think they were ready for it because they had to get the vaccines out, and everything's in a mad rush right now. I think that this wasn't supposed to happen for another 5 to 10 years. I think it's too early, and I think it hasn't really played out as well as people think it has. Like, don't get me wrong, it's worked out really well for the big box stores because the government. The
big box stores, and then everybody who's invested in these drug companies.
Yep.
Which is most of fucking Washington. So like all the fucking senators and the representatives that are telling you to go get this shot are making tons of money off of it.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous.
Yep.
And I think that's probably why less than half the people, because anytime they say something, you just have to assume they're lying at this point because they're just so fucking ridiculous at lying.
Mm. Well, in regards to Trump, I think similar to the military situation.
I think Wu flu is intended to control the population, 100%. Sorry to interrupt you so much. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I think that in regards to Donald Trump, I don't think he was told the whole story. I think he was given some of it. I think because remember with the military, like Donald Trump, one of his campaign promises, he said he's going to bring the troops home for Christmas. And then people in the military lied to him and didn't actually bring the troops home. It's like, well, Trump didn't. It's not like Trump didn't fulfill his campaign promise.
Yeah, he ordered it. They just refused to follow their orders and should have been removed from duty entirely.
And I think in regards to the vaccine stuff, I think he was lied to as well. I don't think he was.
Oh yeah, no, I think Trump got maybe half of the information he should have received when he became president. I guarantee they kept at least 50% of the stuff that he should have been aware of away from him. You could tell because he was constantly fighting other parts of the government. You know, the FBI and the CIA were trying to fuck him over the whole time he was president.
Yep.
You know, so you can guarantee he didn't have any accurate information on either of those agencies whatsoever. And that's a huge part of the president's, like, power.
Yeah, information.
Well, information and the ability to enforce laws and investigate
Rosenstein.
on a much higher level than your local police.
Yeah.
You know, your Tucson, Arizona police department doesn't have the authority to go through a senator's office, but the FBI does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You like to call back
Bureau.
to Tucson, Arizona?
Tucson. Not funny when you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, then it's just me being an asshole, which I like better, so it works out for me both ways.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, man.
It's still funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Christ,
my
dude,
mom-
I've not been logged into fucking Facebook in forever. And I still get notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't avoid it.
Facebook. That is one
Shut
where it's
down my
really
account.
obnoxious and hard to get out of. But once you're finally out of it, it's like so much better.
Yeah.
See,
Because when you try to shut it down, they're like, are you sure? You don't want to just kind of, make it inactive for now? You're going to lose all this stuff.
Oh, well, Facebook didn't give me much of an option.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Can't believe they didn't think Skittles McStabby Pants was your real name.
Yeah, it's so strange. I can actually see that I keep getting all of these things from people, and I have told these people, like, hey, I'm not on there anymore. I am banned from Facebook. You're talking to nobody. And they keep fucking interacting with that channel, so it's like, whatever, dude.
Well, for a lot of people, it's easier because it's there, it's convenient, and so many people are just on Facebook, sometimes exclusively. And I would like to say that like Facebook is a terrible site and no one should ever use it, but apparently it's still very, very important for a lot of people, especially for artists. So
Yeah, it's sort of like when Facebook took over from MySpace. MySpace became like the haven for a lot of artists to promote their stuff.
yeah.
And,
Well,
I think there still are a lot of people that promote on MySpace, ironically.
Probably.
So, yeah.
Well, I think part of the other problem is that a lot of people migrated over from Tumblr, and that's always a scary thought. Because well, when Tumblr decided to get rid of the whole like adult content, and part of the reason for that is because there was like child porn on there. So it's like, okay, you guys had to do
Tumblr
something.
with child porn? That's so
I
weird.
know. Color me shocked, right? But they didn't bother. They could have made an algorithm or something to detect it. That would have been a lot easier. But no, they just did a blanket statement. We're just gonna all porn is gone.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
And the funny thing is, a bunch of my stuff got flagged and taken down. And it wasn't porn. It was like some of the art I did for thumbnails for the cunt stream, and most of that was just cartoonic gorillas. I mean, YouTube has a better algorithm because when I was doing that whole Milker May art stuff, it flagged or took down every single one of my thumbnails. So I had to do a really zoomed in one on the face.
Oh, nice.
So, and I thought it was fine. Not to mention, I've seen thumbnails that are pretty out there. Nude yoga being one of them.
Yeah, nude yoga. That fucking blew my mind when I saw that on Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube.
Well, that
I was just like,
breastfeeding-
that is just a way for chicks to get close-ups of their vagina and basically sell that on YouTube.
Well, it's either nude yoga or breastfeeding.
Yeah, they have that too.
Yeah, you can see it all in the thumbnails.
How fucking sick do you gotta be to, like, jack off to some lady feeding a baby? Like, I get it, tits are awesome, but come on.
All right, well, feeding baby, that's only half the videos. Yes, I've looked. A large majority of it are just women talking about the techniques and how you need to milk yourself and store the milk, and they'll just squeeze their tits and put it inside cups and bowls. So
okay, so they're just like women milking themselves. Okay, that makes me less uncomfortable.
Yeah, and they think it's because they label it as educational because they're talking about techniques and all that, and I could see how that would be educational. I get that, but at the same time, it doesn't look educational. And half that stuff is already on porn sites anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you could go to, like, Pornhub, and I guarantee you'll find the exact same video.
Oh, yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, what is the difference? And then, yeah. I can go into detail, but suffice it to say, it's clearly hypocrisy.
Well, what is it? Rotten Silence says even the ads break YouTube guidelines. Like, I don't watch any ads because I have an ad blocker because I'm not a savage. But even the ads break fucking YouTube guidelines. That's fucking hilarious.
Imagine my shock.
Yeah. And I used to take ads off when I thought it supported channels for, like, the channels I actually liked. Like, I'd let the ads play, but, like, at this point I've just given up because any of the channels I like are demonetized regardless of what they do. Like, a lot of them are nothing to do with politics, and it's just like they're just demonetized because reasons. YouTube needs to take more of the money that is earned by the people that are actually entertaining people and actually selling product through advertising and give it to the people that are just completely worthless. And doing nothing of the sort, just attracting no audience, because YouTube obviously adjusts numbers a lot. Like, we know that for a fact. We've seen it happen.
Yeah, it's been fucking proven.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking conclusively.
I would love to see somebody figure out, or maybe somebody who works inside YouTube, release, like, genuine evidence that they've just completely fabricated numbers and basically stolen money from people by not, by changing their numbers and lying to them about how much, views they were getting versus how much money they were earning for advertising. Because I would love to see, like, the resulting lawsuit from that, because it's happened. It's only a matter of time before it comes out.
Yeah, I know they've shown it on like Joe Biden's streams. Like they're people have actually taken shots of the like and dislike shit changing, like removing dislikes, adding likes, that kind of shit, like in real time or whatever. So it's definitely been shown to fucking happen, and they've done that to undercut people and have them fucking. Have to pay them less.
Yeah.
Removing views and all that kind of shit, too.
Well, a lot of that you can see, because now that there's other platforms that are growing, people are going to those platforms, and what they're seeing is a very stark difference in their numbers. Like, there's that Canadian...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's that Canadian outlet called The Rebel, and on YouTube they have, like, 5 million subscribers or something. I can't remember, but every time they do a live stream, they only ever get like maybe 200 to 300 viewers, and they're like, well, that's strange. So then they go on Rumble and they promote Rumble, and they have like, I don't know, 20,000 people subscribed on there, and they get almost 20,000 people viewing it. Now they would think, well, that's just because. Maybe that's just because there's people subscribed and they're watching. Sure, okay. But then they do notice that there's also another trend that goes on, and that's the likes to view ratio. So, like, for any given video, they might only get 300 people watching, but they have like 2,000 likes. It's like, how do you get you get 300, and then then you get like only that many likes.
Yeah, Steven Crowder's channel has a similar thing, and then I've also seen other channels that are starting to branch out that aren't necessarily political say similar things about like when they live stream. I know like Steven Crowder's always talking about the numbers he gets on Facebook versus the numbers on YouTube, or that YouTube claims are watching. And it's obviously that the amount of actual viewers is far higher than what it says.
Indeed.
Rotten Silence just brought up, apparently the new tax system on YouTube, people in other countries have to pay American tax on top of their own country's taxes.
Well, that's stupid.
That's fucking weird. I don't know if that's necessarily YouTube or if that's Congress sticking the middle finger up real fucking high and hard to YouTube and just trying to dip their fingers in the honeypot. They're like, we don't think we were getting enough of your fucking money. I mean, they gotta pay for that free money they sent out to everybody somehow, dude.
Yeah, maybe. I know YouTube has never really made much in the way of money. They've always sort of struggled.
Well, yeah, the company itself doesn't make a lot, but there's a lot of YouTubers who do make a lot of money off of that. So yeah, because every dollar they're paying to a channel for advertising is less money in their pocket. So it's much cheaper to just say, nope, we've just decided that you're not monetized, but we're still going to show commercials and make money off of your shit.
God, what cunt.
Yeah. Because I definitely know that there are channels that have like said that they don't do advertising, where I've seen commercials occasionally. Because once in a while, every like maybe 6 or 7 months, the ad block stops working for a couple of days. Like the YouTube changes something, and then ad block has to change it back, and it updates like a couple of days, and then you stop watching ads again. Or at least it seems to be how it works for me. And like when I do, that's when you notice, like, wait, this channel's demonetized every time they post a video. How come all their videos have ads? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, YouTube absolutely will fucking slap, slap ads on that shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird because like a lot of them, I'm not sure if this, like almost any video with ads on it, I'll have to watch the first one. Then all I do is like skip just past each of the ad breaks. And because it won't show ads within a certain amount of time after having just shown one, you know what I mean? Like it won't like a few minutes, so you can go just past the ad breaks, all the ad breaks one by one, and then go back to the beginning of the video and watch it, and then not have to watch any of the other ads. Is that making sense?
I don't know. It sounds weird. I always just use ad block.
Okay. All right. Well, again, there'll be like 4 or 5 ads in there. You see the little yellow. There's a little yellow dot or whatever on the line, the timeline or whatever. You know. So the first ad will play, and then what I'll do is I'll skip just past each one of those yellow marks, one after the other, and they'll disappear. And without playing the ads, and then I'll just go back to the beginning of the video. But there's some sites where it won't do that, and it'll play the ad every fucking time after you pass that point. The only one I've seen is JonTron's videos, oddly enough. So I don't know if it's something YouTube's doing or if that's something else. I'm assuming it's YouTube, but maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe JonTron's doing it. I don't see how JonTron would have that power, but possible. And JonTron doesn't. I don't know. But there's something weird going on there, dude. Because almost every other one I do, I can do that. And again, it depends on how much I like the channel.
Yeah, true.
Whether I do that or if I let the fucking ads play.
That's a good point. Man. Yeah, I don't know. I think
squirrely going on.
Sensoka has a good point when he says YouTube is too volatile to really consider it a career. it's not the best choice.
Yeah.
I would say
it's not a good long-term fucking thing. That's for sure.
I would probably
Because again, very few channels stay really popular.
Well, and I would counter with the only ones that really matter are the ones that have their own websites and host their own stuff, so that they can keep going after like YouTube, or if YouTube shuts them down, they have a separate source of income. That's the only ones I really respect is like actually being careers. Right. And what's also, you've seen a return to T-shirts and mugs though too.
Yeah.
A lot more people are selling their own merch.
Oh yeah, merchandise, dude. Fucking merch.
I'd probably treat YouTube more as an advertisement than anything else.
There we go.
Although I've seen a lot of fucking content creators, like Teespring stores, getting shut down for fucking bullshit.
Yeah, weird copyright claims that make no sense. People use like something just slightly close to something other, and then they'll get sued, fucked over. Or people will get an itch up their ass and be like, "Oh, that's offensive." Patreon is still artist welfare. Yeah, I mean, if you've got the thing about Patreon is it seems to drastically change content. The second somebody starts making all of their money based on people giving them free money, just directly instead of like selling merchandise, they drastically change their content almost like overnight, it seems like, to suit the people that are paying them and not their entire audience. Like they stop being very creative for something. It seems to kill creativity really, really badly. Which, doesn't matter if you're, some fucking e-girl trying to sell like lewd photos of your cosplay so you can support your cosplay habit. But because you don't need to really be creative for that. That doesn't take a lot of thought.
Right. Yeah, it's one of the things I respect about this guys is like they've literally told people that have been giving them like hundreds of dollars a month. They're like, dude, we appreciate the money, but you're not going to tell us what to fucking do. You know what I mean? They're literally like thinking that like, hey, I paid you $500 this month. Do this video about this thing I want you to do it about. And they're like, well, you can keep your money because I'm not fucking doing what you're fucking,
And that's a good way to act.
That I do.
I think it's Patreon can work if you are extremely clear about how it's going to function. And if you accept, and if you have other sources of income, like if you're still selling merchandise, you have your own website, maybe you have a subscription fee on another channel, another website, or another platform or something, whatever. Like you're not putting all your eggs in that one basket. You can basically tell them to fuck off if you have to.
Yeah.
I think most people would probably understand that. I just I still think it's
but there are definitely some
very strong possibility you're going to end up changing your content to suit like the majority of the Patreon people's wants because they're paid. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah, it's definitely like
it's
human nature to want to do that, even if you're not being like greedy and wanting more money from these people.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost human nature to be like, all right.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to help? Return the positive vibe. I don't know. Yeah. Especially if it's not something that's that different from what you're doing. Like if it's something that's completely different, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you watching me if that's what the kind of shit you like? You know what I mean? But yeah, for the most part, it's probably not all that different from what they're doing anyway. So it can be, it kind of depends, I guess, on what the fucking people are asking for too. Yeah. So everybody, I think,
or if they're asking instead of demanding.
Yeah. Everybody's seen It's a Gundam, I think, right? Like most people know who that is here. I think. Would it be funny if I was sending him a package if part of it was a rope that said, "I don't want you to hang yourself, but you seem like you might. So if you do, I would be very honored if you'd use this." Is that funny? Because I think that's funny, but I kind of wonder if that might be like just me having a very skewed sense of what's funny. Like
He'll
I think if anybody, he would probably find it. he would probably find it funny.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I think he might get a kick out of that.
Yeah, not saying you should or any of that. I'm just saying if you do,
this is really good rope.
It would bring me great honor.
This
if you use my
extremely
news
good
to
rope.
do it.
Oh no, I can't do that though. That's too dark. I just feel like that's the kind of thing that people try to fucking dox you and figure out who you are and come after you. Not the guy. Like Gundam might find that shit hilarious. But like, there'd be like fans who are like, we gotta find this guy and fucking take care of him. He needs to be exposed. Fun times. Alright, what can we change the topic to? It's not depressing.
Everything's depressing. Didn't I just tell you everything's depressing these days?
Am I the only one who knows what milk toast is and has eaten it regularly? I mean, not super often, but over the years, I've had it on a semi-regular basis.
No.
So you're not talking about MILQUE toast?
No, milk toast. Milk. Yeah, you like cow's milk on a milk toast? Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
All right. Because that's a descriptive milk toast, MILQUE.
Oh, Rotten Silence has it. It's really soft
word.
rope and it doesn't chafe your neck. I like that. That's a good joke.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to have any discomfort.
Worst case scenario, this is really soft and it wouldn't chafe. Oh,
but strong enough to snap your neck if you fall from a sufficient height.
Because my sister saw me making milk toast the other day and freaked out. Because I just, I made like the cinnamon toast and then I poured milk on it like you do for milk toast. And she was just like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you?
What the hell's wrong with you?
Like she was perplexed that I was putting toast in a bowl.
I've never done that, but yeah, it sounds good. Sounds fine.
It's one of the things they can recommend to you if you're having trouble sticking with rice. What is it? The rice, bananas, toast. There's like an acronym for it, where you have to be on an extremely bland diet, and it's like rice, bananas, toast, and like milk and applesauce. Rice, bananas, toast, and applesauce. That's what it is. They'll be like, just take some dry toast and pour milk over it, and it's less, monotonous. It's just like, changes up your textures and flavors a little bit.
Yeah, instead of having cinnamon toast with milk, you're just basically throwing it all together, like with a glass of milk.
Yeah.
Just throw it all together. It's something different.
It's probably one of the precursors to how they came up with cereal. Like, that sense, people used to think, like, way back, they used to take, like, chunks of old stale bread and just pour milk over them and add a little, like, seasoning of some kind. Like, if they could afford sugar, or, salt and, nutmeg or something, just to kind of flavor it up a little bit. Sensoka, why would you fight bees in melee combat, though? Like, I don't know how many I could fight in melee combat. I presume none, because I don't know that me punching a bee would matter, whereas the bee stinging me is definitely going to fucking hurt. And I don't like the pain of bee stings.
How do you fight bees?
I almost swallowed
smoke
one.
Or some kind of spray?
Yeah.
Without some kind of like spray or something.
I did get a bee in my mouth once when I was a kid. That was real fucking scary.
Yeah.
I set down a Coke can, and I looked away, and then I took a drink, and there was a fucking bee in my mouth, and I spit it out with the soda. Luckily, I didn't get stung in the mouth. But the bee was very unhappy with me.
Yeah, I've got stung a couple times, dude. And
I've gotten stung precisely twice by bees.
Yeah, I got stung
both in the
once
same
in the
place.
Throat.
Oh, in the throat. Oh, God. Fuck that.
Yeah, the first time I got stung, somehow it was when I was working at Verizon. We had to wear like fucking like a dress shirt, tie, like slacks, dress shirt, tie, all that shit. Somehow when I had undone my tie for temporarily or whatever, somehow it got under my collar when I was outside, And then when I was putting my tie back on, I got fucking like stung by it. I was like, what the fuck? And it was the first time, so like I don't know if I'm allergic or anything. So like I'm imagining my throat closing up, you know what I mean, when it really wasn't. So yeah, it kind of freaked me out. The other time was one and it gotten into my shirt, like under my back shirt between my shoulder blades. And then I thought that it had just flown away, but it had gone into my fucking shirt. So I get back in the, gotten back in the car, and when I lean back to the seat, bam, stings me like right between my fucking shoulder blades.
God damn.
That was fun.
I got
Still
stung
way better
twice
than
in
a
2 days.
sting.
Twice in 2 days,
wow.
both on the back of the knee. Both in the same place. I used to walk down this creek near
Same
my
knee?
house. No, it wasn't the same bee. They die when they sting you. But it was the same group of
No,
bees.
same knee.
Same knee, yeah.
Same knee, K-N-E.
Both on the back
Oh,
of my
wow.
right knee. And it was both by this little blackberry patch on the same thing. I walked every day, and I finally figured out what it was. Those 2 days, which I don't normally eat bananas very often, but I always try to have a small snack before I would work out or go for a hike or a walk or anything, because it's better. You shouldn't work out on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And I was unconsciously getting a little of the banana stuff on the back of my knee when I would like wipe it on my pant leg or something. I didn't even realize I was doing it until I was trying to figure out why the bees were stinging. And the pheromone, the scent of banana is very similar to their attack scent. So I was essentially like baiting the back of my knee each day before I went out on a walk with a banana. So like, I set myself up for it. That's also how I found out I wasn't allergic to bees, was like 3 miles from my house in front of a blackberry patch around no one else.
Nice.
Yeah, so. And then I basically had to pop them like zits to get the fucking stinger out. It was really weird.
Yeah, there's something with a credit card or something you're supposed to do, from what I understand.
I didn't have anything with me at the time. I had like, I think I used to carry like
well,
a bottle of water.
right
and that
after
was
it happens. Yeah, right after it happens, it's probably a lot easier. But you know, like the one that I got in between my shoulder blades, like I just didn't mess with it.
You couldn't reach it, I'm
So
sure.
it kind of like crusts over. You know, like it becomes a problem if you don't take care of it right away.
I think for me, the worst bee sting I ever got was when I was like 8, and I was visiting my grandparents, and a bee flew right into my ear.
Oh
fuck
no!
And I smacked that. It
Jesus
stung
Christ,
me.
dude.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. Was not happy about that.
You win the bee sting fucking contest, sir. I mean, it's not a contest, but goddamn, like if there was one, you in the ear, dude, that's fucked up.
I think the good thing is, like, I was a kid, and I at the time I didn't have any allergies to it, so I assumed everything's okay. Although my brother was stung by a wasp, and he had a bad allergic reaction to it.
Ooh,
so,
well, that's not fun.
Yeah, and so maybe as you get older, you develop an allergic reaction. So, yeah, I don't want to get stung, so I avoid them as best as I can. The fucking wasps are out like crazy. Speaking of which, I posted a picture of a little wasp, Japanese gachapon that I got.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Oh, it's
terrifying.
a wasp figure that you own.
Yes.
Oh, you're into some weird porn, man. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man.
No, I won't get into it. But the
what are the?
No. You need to follow up on
that. Are
that.
way bigger.
What was that?
Oh yeah, in Japan they have giant fucking wasps. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have murder hornets.
I thought it was
Huge
hornets.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, hornets. Yeah,
hornets.
right.
Yeah.
I do not want to see those things.
Yeah, and like they make it over here, like in Japan, like they know. Like the honeybees or whatever, they know how to, like, they know they just have to fucking swarm them. Like, they have the technique to actually beat them. But, like, when those things get over here, the bees in, like, in the Americas aren't, like, aware of that technique. So the fucking hornets just wipe out an entire fucking hive. Like, one hornet can wipe out an entire a Japanese hornet can wipe out an entire fucking hive.
Oh, yeah, they're fucking huge.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, but again, like I said, in Japan, like
it's like their own little version of a kaiju movie. Like, here comes the giant hornet,
But
like,
yeah.
just trampling through the fucking hive, destroying buildings, and just stepping on people left and right, fucking murking them.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but yeah, in Japan, like the honeybees just swarm them, dude. Like 30 or 40 of them they just cling to them, dude, and take them down like that.
Well,
Pretty
they
fucking
have like,
cool.
yeah, because it's heat that kills, or a certain temperature of heat that kills certain bugs, so they just swarm
Bake 'em.
them. They bake them alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that and I thought, yeah, okay, that sounds interesting.
It's pretty
That sounds like
badass.
something that would happen in Japan. Like, the Japanese people got to get that crazy from somewhere, man. They just observe nature. They're like, oh, I see if you just swarm enough people at somebody and hold on to them, they just eventually die. We could do that.
Somehow that translates into tentacle porn.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. Well, they're very coastal, like, they're an island, so there's a lot of weird sea life that they probably have seen. I'm sure tentacles have been around for a long time. You know, some sailor probably found a squid and was thinking, man, what if this was giant and did butt stuff to girls? That'd be hot. You know?
Indeed.
Not saying I bought little tentacle fingers, but I may have done that
Yeah, there you go.
as art reference. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
Do you have to, like, put out, like, personals ads? I have tentacle fingers. I just need you to pose for me with the tentacles for my art.
No. Although I do know a couple of women who are big into hentai. They love the shit, and they want to play with my little tentacle fingers.
Oh, but not with you with them. That's not fun.
See, yeah, that's my point. I'm like, yeah, it's not the same.
You got to be like, hey, look, you can play with the tentacle fingers as long as I'm the person wearing them. I'm in, you know.
Look, I've had to refrain from using the statement, your boyfriend doesn't need to know.
Oh, but he doesn't. I mean, there's no reason to tell him. It just hurt his feelings. No. Sorry,
Don't just
that's
hurt his feelings. Let's just... There's a reason why things have not progressed in certain ways.
Yeah, I think if somebody really wants their own tentacle fingers, you should just point out where they can buy their own. Like, yeah, that's nice and all, but if you're not including my hands with this, buy your own fucking tentacle fingers.
Okay, the thing is, like, okay, I tell them where to get them. They're everywhere if you know where to look. It's not that hard. But most people don't want to spend that money. I spend this money on this stuff.
You gotta
because...
be really hard up for cash if you don't want to pay for the thing you want to put in your vagina.
Oh, they'll spend plenty for that stuff. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because
most women. Yeah.
That's an infection waiting to happen if you're just trying to, like, borrow sex toys.
Oh fuck! Yeah, no.
Tentacle porn is too normal. Hentai needs to push for jellyfish. Thank you, Mr. Sensoka.
So I didn't know this until my female friend was telling me this. There is a website where you can buy old sex toys, but it's like it's use at your own discretion, that kind of thing. And she did go there. That's because she's a collector of the Bad Dragon toys, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll never use this. I just want it to display." She wants to get the whole set. And I think
that kind of makes sense.
Like, okay, like for her, it's a collector's thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Because she's got a bunch. She never uses them. But it's more like she likes them. She likes how they look. And she also doesn't want to get, like, the big jumbo ones. She just wants to get them to have on display. Because women are women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's international penis museums.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
You know, so collecting sex toys doesn't seem that strange when you're like, there are people that collect actual fucking penises and put them on display in museums. Like, somewhere out there is a person whose job it is to find penises and purchase them.
Yeah,
Well,
for the museum.
there is a guy who makes penises for movies.
Oh, like movie dicks?
Movie dicks, yeah. So, like, for instance, like...
I would think they would go to, like, some of these companies that make, like, the incredibly realistic sex dolls.
Maybe they will at some point. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know, like pretty much every penis you saw on Game of Thrones was a fake one.
Oh, I never watched Game of Thrones. I can't stand that guy's writing.
Oh, okay. Well, there's two reasons why they get fake penises for these guys. One,
because their own dicks are too small?
Well, they might like them to be bigger, but also, apparently, in most places... In like America, it's apparently illegal to film that stuff. Oddly enough, like I know they
wait, like it's illegal to just show a guy's penis, but I know it's legal to have a woman's vagina.
Well, actually, no, it's technically not. See, here's the thing: there are some states that you can do that in, and some states that you can't do that in. Like porn, for example, there's a reason why most porn is filmed in certain states because you're allowed to do that and get away with it. Well, in most movies, you can't do that because most of the movies are filmed either on sets or locations or whatnot.
Sort of similar to how porn is filmed in certain states because they don't require condoms.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there are certain requirements for that. So there's a reason why they do that. Now, here's the thing: the penises that they get. Because what they do is they send the guys. There's the prop people. You can go to their place and you can pick a penis. And you can try it on and see what you think. But it's always at the discretion of the actor. So if the actor wants a big, huge dong, well then that's for him to decide. If he wants to, it was more normal.
God, that could go so wrong.
Yep.
Because legitimately, I'd be the guy that'd be like, no, I'm gonna need a 2-footer. Yeah, so, just fucking make it insane. Like, I want to make this a big deal. I want people to fucking remember how absolutely absurd it is that I couldn't just show my own dick in this film. I want a 2-foot long, 30, 3 or 4 or 5 inch in diameter, just massive fucking dong that just it's gonna be very noticeably fake.
Yeah. So when you think about it in movies, most of the time that shit ain't real.
I don't know that I've seen a lot. I don't think there's been a lot of penis in a lot of movies.
Not really. You see a lot of you can see a fair bit of boobs.
There's a lot of tits, and I've seen a lot of vagina. Especially when I was a teenager watching the premium channels late at night for that softcore shit. Like they had a lot of girls with their bottoms off for the car wash movies or the whatever the fucking thing was.
Yeah, I mean, for women, I think it's about the same thing, but that varies depending on...
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. Those could have all been fake pooters that I've been looking at.
For sure. And
it was not super high def.
So, yeah, you'll see a fair bit of women out there with their tits out, but a lot of times it's fake, or it's a different body. There was a scene in Game of Thrones where one of the main characters, she was... stripped naked and forced to walk across the city back to the castle, and she had to be naked, and then there was a nun behind her ringing a bell going shame, and part of me was like, okay, is that real, or was that a stunt double, or is that prosthetic? I did find out it wasn't really her, but the mystery is still okay, when you say it wasn't really her. Was it her, but she's wearing prosthetic parts? Or is it that they just sort of...
Oh, yeah, who fucking knows? That's a trip.
There are a lot of times you'll think... You'll look at, naked actors and go, oh, yeah, that's hot. But then you'll never know if it's real or not.
Yeah, since Oka recommends using an actual elephant trunk-shaped penis... It looks like it's making it awkward for everyone. Everyone has to fucking deal with this elephant trunk that's literal elephant trunk in between your legs. That'd be a fucking great softcore scene where you're trying to shove an elephant trunk in her tummy.
That would be fucking weird.
Because, man, seriously, back in the fucking early 90s, when I was 13, 14 years old, man, there was a lot of belly button banging. in the softcore.
Yeah, or thigh
porn.
humping. A lot of thigh
Oh,
humping.
thigh humping too. Yeah, thigh humping and belly button banging.
Yeah. No, I remember because I hadn't really seen hardly any porn, and obviously was still a virgin, and even I would like almost basically immediately. I'm like, that's not right. That's not lined up right.
Well, I know it. The first video porn I ever saw was actually on a VHS. Like the first porn I ever saw was like magazines, like Playboy and like Playpen and stuff like that. But fucking and Hustler. God, Hustler was real fucking graphic for a fucking kid. But fucking we had this VHS tape and it had I forget what the first movie was. And it had one movie, then it had that movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger is on Mars and they got to release Total Recall. They got to release the oxygen and the water and stuff. And then after Total Recall, if you fast forwarded like 20 minutes past the movie, some weird old 70s super big bush hardcore porno was on there.
Oh wow!
Something with like
That's
skiers in like a ski resort. Like my dad had recorded some fucking like legit porn on there. And I just found it by chance because I just left the video playing and was doing something else in the room. Luckily, when no one else was in the room. And it just started playing porn, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is fucking badass!"
Like, wow, these after credit scenes are fantastic.
Oh, way after the credits. It was way after the static.
Like, oh, did this get cut from the movie?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, the awkward ways in which one used to have to find porn. Like, all these kids are fucking lucky now. All they gotta do is, like, search on their phone. Mm-hmm. You know, like, just be, like, in the bathroom, check their phone, and just, like, fucking rub one out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very convenient. It's going to be interesting to see its effect on society and relationships.
Kids are hypersexualized.
Ease of access.
Kids are very hypersexualized at this point. Like they're having sex a lot younger and a lot more often than the public kids, man, for sure.
From what I've heard in regards to like women these days, like the dating type and all that, women are from what I've heard, the women have reached what's considered a new low, and that they're dating guys or trying to marry guys that they recently put in the friend zone. It's like, nah, I just want to be friends. But then she can't get anything because everyone else is out, either already got someone or, I don't know, maybe they just decide, I'll just stick with porn.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that guy I friend zoned.
Well, there's a lot of guys who are in a position where they're not batting in their own range. Like, yeah, they're sleeping with girls that are like maybe 2 or 3 points below them on the 10 scale, if you're doing the whole 1 through 10 rating. And they can just keep doing that because they're hot enough that those girls will agree to sleep with them, hoping that means they'll get some sort of relationship out of it. Even though, like, the guy makes it clear that it's just like, a one-night stand kind of deal. And they can just continue to do that on, like, the dating apps, basically as long as they want. But, like, the women are finding out, I think slowly over time, the women are finding out that, like, oh, my value drops drastically the older I get, and the more kids I have, nobody wants to actually marry me anymore. What the fuck do I do? Like, and that's probably why they're looking at the friend zone. They're like, well, he was desperate. Maybe he'll take me.
Yeah, it's like Patrice said back in the day. Pussy ages like bread, not like wine.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm 41 and I'm like super out of shape and all that, like big fat guy. But like, if I got in shape, like 43, I could be banging chicks left and right on a dating app like that. Just picking up like 30-year-olds easy. Yeah, they wouldn't be like 10s, but like, who cares? You're getting laid, right? Like,
yeah, not anymore.
Well, they'll be desperate.
Past the prime bitches.
Yeah. They'll be desperate. So I mean, I'd say go for it. Start hitting those push-ups, doing those sit-ups.
I think that if you're gonna do that as a dude, like, I would highly recommend getting your fucking getting the snip. Because the second you got a kid with one of them, that's a financial burden you're gonna be stuck with forever. I mean, personally, I would like to think that the guys would take more responsibility than just paying the monthly fucking child support. But like, let's be fair. There's a lot of scumbags out there. Yeah, so I'm just, from a pragmatic perspective, you don't want to end up in that situation.
Nearly fucking. Yeah, I stayed in a relationship for almost 10 years. A relationship that wouldn't have made it 6 months if I hadn't knocked her up.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah, there's no way I would have fucking stayed with her long term if I hadn't gotten her pregnant.
Oh, dude, that sucks. See, but that's what I'm talking about, and it's just, that paradigm is just going to continue getting worse.
Yeah.
But, especially, I see a lot of stuff on VR chat where, clearly kids are engaging in all sorts of weird sex stuff way, way earlier than they were when I was a kid. Like, there were a lot of people when I was in high school and junior high that were saying, oh, yeah, I totally got laid. Absolute bullshit. There were a few, of course, but not nearly the majority. Because it was still not all that common.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I remember a dude that fucking, in junior high, pretended he was, fucking getting laid like crazy, and all the chicks fucking making him scream and shit. And now I'm looking back on him like, you're a goofy-looking motherfucker. You weren't getting fucking laid.
Yeah, or you go back and think back and you, remember the stories, and you're like, that was obviously bullshit. That is clearly something a virgin would think sex was like, but not really. Oh, God.
you're fucking like a porn star and fucking...
Yeah, like the guy who's like, oh, man, we had sex all night. Nah, dude. Nobody in high school lasted that long. Oh, man.
Not a whole lot of women want to fuck all night either, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, I doubt either of them would last that long. Yeah, I doubt either of them would last fucking all night in high school. You're talking, maybe, 5 minutes tops?
Yeah.
It gets to the point where you start to think, are they trying to...
If you masturbated before...
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That's starting to get down a weird road. I don't know that we need to be talking about kids having sex with each other anymore.
Yeah, I think we've covered that. We don't want the 10-year-old showing up again, dude.
But, yeah, that was fucking dumb. Minecraft will never be in the title of this show again. I don't care what happens. I don't care if Notch goes on a shooting spree and kills 100 people from a fucking high-rise building in New York City. I'm not ever putting Minecraft in the title again.
Wait, what? Is that
I put Minecraft in the title of the show a couple of times, and I didn't figure out who people were before they joined in. So I let some fucking kid on the show for 20 minutes before I was like, wait a minute, you're fucking 10. Go to bed, get the fuck off. I'm banning you from my Discord. We thought it was somebody doing a joke, or at least I did, because I was pretty high.
You realize, oh no, you're actually a kid. Okay,
you're actually a fucking 10-year-old.
Okay, yeah, no more Minecraft.
Yeah. I'm also going to avoid things like Legos, Roblox.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that episode you had Lego and Minecraft in the title, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
My nephew is obsessed with Legos. Apparently, yeah, he's really into it. He can tell you what bricks are, what the number is, and everything like that. God damn it,
damn.
Kid. Although I think...
there's a lot of fun stuff with those bricks you can do. I'm never putting them in my title of my fucking show again. That's just all I know.
Yeah, I've been to Legoland. Legoland's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Well, I still occasionally will buy a small Lego set just for the fun of putting it together, taking it apart, and putting it together a couple times.
Yeah, honestly, I like Legoland better than fucking Disneyland, dude. Legoland's pretty fucking cool. Plus, it's literally right across the street from the fucking resort we stay at. Oh shit, dude! That reminds me. Next week, I'm going to be going to California, so
Why?
I'm
Oh, damn.
most likely not going to be on the show. Yeah.
What
I
part of
forgot.
California? Southern
It's our-
California
it's our-
again? The area
Carlsbad.
with the vacation house, I assume?
Yeah, the one right next to Legoland. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, since Oka says if he can't get the job in 30 minutes, he ain't going to satisfy in the next 2 hours. I beg to differ. It just depends on... Oh, never mind. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, Legos did get crazy expensive. I only buy like the little fucking tiny sets. I would never buy the big sets anymore because they cost too fucking much. And I'm trying to save money for a van.
A van? Is that where you're going to be living from now on?
No, I just want a van. I want to kit it out so I can go camping on like weekends and vacation and shit, and not have to sleep on the ground in a tent.
Oh, okay.
He wants to live the van life, dude. Don't let him fool you.
Fuck no.
He wants to go van life. Shit.
No, part of it is I don't want to take out any more. I want to at least leave 2 back seats as well, so it's still like a usable van.
Right.
And anything I kit it out for camping with has to be removable. So like it'll probably be more like maybe a small cabinet that I can put in and out and just bolt to the because they got those support frames with all the little holes that they've drilled in for weight, the support beams that hold the walls steady. I'll just make stuff I can bolt into those or something like that when I'm going camping, and then just take out a couple of bolts, pull the little cabinet out, pull the little cot out, and then have it back to like a bunch of cargo space and 4 seats. Because if I were going to do living in a van, I would be fucking. I might. Yeah, I don't want to live in a van, dude. That's not at all attractive to me. It looks so fucking miserable.
There's
it's fun to watch, but you wouldn't want to live it.
Yeah.
There's like a collapsible tent or something that you can put on for vans and vehicles that I saw on Indiegogo. And essentially, it's like like a case that folds in like a.
Oh, were you talking about rooftop tents?
Yeah.
Where it unfolds into like a platform, and then there's like a ladder that holds the part that folded out. Yeah. Rooftop tents are awesome. I don't want to get anything that's permanent like that on the top of the van. They're already kind of tall. Plus, I don't want to deal with potentially, and I don't know if this is something I would have to deal with, but I just assume if it looks like you might live in your van, like I don't want to deal with like cops fucking trying to ticket me everywhere I park.
Right.
It's like you see these fucking retards that are like, oh, I'm going to move into my van. And they put like a fucking awning on the side that looks just like an RV with like the fucking access panels and the solar panels on the roof. And they basically make their van look exactly like an RV. And it's like everybody knows you're sleeping in that van. What? Like that's not a stealth van. Like you can't park in the city and do all your normal city tasks that you want to do without people being very aware that there's somebody sleeping in that fucking van. I don't know. It's nutty.
Yeah, I remember when YouTube was trying to promote that van life stuff.
Yeah, that's still out there. The other thing with those builds, though, and this is something that they almost never talk about, they're adding hundreds of pounds of weight that's not intended to be there all the time. Like, vans are supposed to be able to hold a little extra weight for like short periods of time. Like you're taking a trip somewhere and then you're unloading your stuff, and it's not supposed to carry like an extra several hundred pounds to the amounts that they're adding. And it can fuck up your suspension, and it can get your transmission and your engine to blow out far, far sooner than they would normally. It's a terrible fucking idea. Unless you're buying vans specifically to make into RVs. Which you can do. You can actually buy vans that show up with basically the front part of the van and then like a big platform on the back.
I think van life is stupid. Like I understand what you're doing with the whole camping thing. Like that sounds.
Oh yeah,
totally
yeah. I 100% agree with you. I don't think it's smart to go live in your van on purpose. I think if you have no other option, then that's, I guess, better than living in a car or on the street for sure. But I mean, choosing to do that, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
The ones I do get are the ones that live in those big RVs. They like they've retired and they can just go camping all the time, but they're camping in these like big luxury RVs. That I get. I totally understand that. That actually looks pretty fucking plush. But the van, like, that's just one small room, where you have enough room to like take 3 steps in each direction. No, Sensoka, I'm not buying a short bus. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. They'll buy the short buses and kit them out like campers. That seems like it's not as bad as like a van, because there's like actual like space. I don't know, man. I'd rather live in a house or an apartment. Personally. Call me crazy. I like running water, electricity, and a toilet that flushes.
Yeah, I'd say just get a house or something. I know it sucks right now, like getting a house. Well, I don't know about in America. Here in Canada, it's a terrible idea. Property is like through the roof. It's ridiculous. Yeah, first-time homeowners, like, good luck with that. I have a friend.
And also there's like a bunch of houses that are probably abandoned at this point because nobody can afford them.
Yeah, well, what's happening is a bunch of the wealthy and the rich people are buying houses at reduced cost or something, and then it's just it just makes it miserable for everyone else.
Yeah,
like Tim Pool recently did a video where he was talking about because he wanted to buy a house in an area and no bank would give him a loan because someone else just outbid him and took the house. So,
wow,
yeah. And Tim Pool's doing pretty good for himself. He's got a fair bit of money to work with, but nah.
Oh yeah, most of the people we see on YouTube complain about money make pretty darn good money.
Yeah.
Not that Tim Pool complains about making money. I'm just saying, like, most of the people on YouTube, even the ones who are like, "Oh man, I'm just so poor," are making pretty fucking decent money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep. I personally, I think we're on the way to like some form of civil war sooner or later. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take, but it seems like that's where we're just sort of like pointed at as a society in general, like worldwide.
I don't know if it's going to be like a civil war. I think what's happening is just people are getting sick and tired finally of the media and the bullshit. Like the teachers, like the teachers meetings or whatever that they're doing, like where the parents can come over and bitch them. They're now bitching about that whole critical race theory.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Parents are fucking pissed off with critical race theory.
Well, because it's not real. It's complete nonsense, and it's horribly racist. You know, of course people are going to get pissed if you're teaching their children how to be incredibly racist and put up with all sorts of imaginary bullshit. Like, no one wants their kid fucking indoctrinated like that.
Yep. I think a lot of it's happening in, like, big schools. I think small towns are relatively immune from this, but the schools, nah.
Well, the weird thing to me is, by and large...
Yeah, did you see Florida fucking outlawed it, dude?
Yeah, Florida made it illegal.
Outlawed it in their schools, by the way.
Which is smart.
Florida
that's what it needs to. That's what needs to happen. It needs to be illegal so that no one can force it into any school.
Florida just keeps looking better and better. Like, I'm just like, oh, where am I going to move?
Florida's the new Texas.
Yeah.
Because Texas has kind of been inundated with Californians to the point where it's starting to go blue. Like, it's not there yet, and it may never go all the way blue, but it's going enough blue that it's just not the place to go anymore. Because the people are just fucking abhorrent. So you're looking at, like, Florida at this point is really the only place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Florida,
the only fucking sane place in the fucking world. Or in the fucking country, at least.
well,
Yeah.
Florida, Texas. I think who else is there's one other state.
Oh, probably like
beside-
Alabama and like Mississippi.
Oh, I think it was Las Vegas or Nevada.
Nevada?
I don't know your states, so is Las Vegas the city?
I'm
Yeah,
not
Las
sure
Vegas
about
is a
Nevada.
city within Nevada.
Okay, all right. So yeah, Nevada opened up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Oh, good. Nevada opened up. That's more states that do
Yeah,
that, the
plus,
better,
like, the
because it's getting
Dakotas-
ridiculous.
Like, the Dakotas just never really shut down.
Like I saw a
Oh.
video of what was going on in Las Vegas, and they're watching as like stores are just smiles on their faces. Are taking down all the plexiglass. Like, oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Happy people to get back to normal. That's what I want to see. Unfortunately, like here in Canada, we're still locking down. They're talking about doing like a fourth lockdown or doing another lockdown because this Delta variant is so deadly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go figure.
Yeah, it's like when you look at the numbers, the thing that really bothers me is they still use percent of people or numbers of people that are infected, which is a completely irrelevant and unhelpful number because who cares? Everyone's going to catch it sooner or later. It's like the cat's out of the bag. There's no way to prevent everyone from catching it. It's no longer to the point where the hospitals can't keep up with it. I don't think it ever really got that far in the U.S. that it was just completely shutting down hospitals. I think it started to get bad for a little bit, but
It was supposed to.
Get as bad, or it didn't get anywhere near as bad as they said it was going to
that.
get. That's for sure.
Yeah. When it was supposed to be like that, where it was supposed to be all overwhelmed, they were doing these fucking choreographed fucking TikTok videos.
But the numbers that they should be using is just how many people died, like what percentage of people died, and it's super low everywhere.
Died.
You know, like in my county, it was 1% of the people that got infected died, and it was less than a fraction of a percent of the total population.
I think it's the only virus in human history where we've measured the severity based on cases than by deaths.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, and it's just sounds dumber and dumber every time somebody's like, "Well, there were this many cases." Shut the fuck up. Like, how many people died? Not a lot. Nowhere near as much as they said it would, and basically the same as the flu would have gotten.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was amazing how flu cases just magically disappeared. You know, there was zero or almost no flu cases reported. That's fucking amazing.
Even with their blatant inflation, it doesn't outstrip like the regular flu. Like,
yeah. Even when they were counting everything as COVID, and whether it was a flu or fucking whatever else.
Yeah.
Even then, the numbers didn't look all that fucking scary. And unless you were really old and already had a couple of issues, like or at least like something wrong with your lungs or your fucking heart already, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Comorbidity.
Oh yeah, the double masking. That was fucking.
Oh, my mom does that. It takes all my effort in me to not roll my eyes every time I see her put on those two masks. Like, why would?
And then, like 5 minutes after, does she adjust the masks?
All the time, and not only that, like she'll get walking like in the store, and she'll have a hard time breathing, so she'll turn around, pull the mask up just so she can breathe. I'm like, why are you? What? Oh,
goddamn.
What's even the point if you're going to stop every now and then to breathe and then readjust the mask? And,
you're spraying the germs all over your hands, and then everything you touch, like right afterwards, when you're looking through the cans of chili to pick one, you know, or you pick up that box of crackers to read the fucking nutrition label to see if you want them.
Like my mom,
spearing germs everywhere, and it's like Wash your hands, don't touch your face. That is the best way to prevent 99% of the viruses out there.
Yeah, that's what I found amazing is you literally never heard them say that shit. Like, hey, wash your hands, especially before you touch food. But yeah, wash your hands regularly.
In the house I work at, my boss actually put up a bunch of signs specifically about washing your hands, and was like, yeah, masks, wash your hands. Like, that was the only place I ever saw it, and that wasn't government. That was just one small company.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've been avoiding
one boss with common fucking sense.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing that bothers me, which is why I'm all like, oh, this feels all planned out. Because the most important things you gotta do is you have to make sure that you maintain a healthy diet and exercise. They should be promoting, like, eating proper balanced diet. Vegetables and fruits are very important because they help you get stuff. And have your vitamin D if you can, because depending on where you live, because like here in Canada we don't get much sun in the wintertime. Obviously,
you take your supplement,
Exactly, you take your supplement and like you said, wash your hands. But they should be promoting like exercise. And here
and if you're a single lady in California, I got all the vitamin D you need.
Exactly, but here in Canada, not so much. And not only that, like my main source of exercise was the gym, and all the gyms are closed out. They're still closed down. Yeah. And I've looked myself in the mirror lately, and I've gotten real fat.
I got 3 days ago. I got my exercise bike.
Yeah,
because then I can actually do some cardio because I can't do the standing up for very long, so it's hard to get cardio if you can't stand and walk. Exactly. That good. So but I can sit on that thing and I can pedal.
Well, it got so bad. Like I go out for a walk now that it's warm out, and I'll go out for a walk and I get winded. I have to stop every now and then to catch my breath. Now it's not so bad. Now I can go on my full path and walk back, and I'm not getting winded. So I'm making an improvement, and that's my goal, to just keep doing that. So, but it does, it's not easy. I wish the gym were open, because I was doing real good before the pandemic.
Your fucking gym's still not open?
No, they're still closed, and there's not an ounce of evidence.
Fuck.
It's gotten
I think they're still closed in California too. So.
Yeah, like here in Canada, it's gotten so bad that what people are doing is they're. I wish I knew someone who was doing this. There's underground gyms where they have all this equipment and they have a secret location you can go and work out, and they just don't tell you like where. And I wish
That's
I knew
fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, we have underground gyms. We also have underground churches, because apparently, churches aren't allowed to meet either. My province here in Alberta is the only province, I think it's the only place in the world where we've arrested pastors for holding service. We've arrested 3 pastors. One was in jail for like an entire month. And in the remand center here is the max security jail, which makes no sense why he'd have to be in the remand center. And he was there for like an entire month. 2 weeks in solitary confinement, because that's how they isolate you, because you can't expose out to the other inmates. Even though at the remand center, prior to the pastor going there was already like 2 outbreaks of coronavirus. So it's like, well, clearly your shit isn't working. On top of all that, like the fine for holding like service and all that, it's the equivalence of a parking ticket. Even if he was found guilty, he would never have had to go to jail.
Yeah.
So that it boggles my mind, and I know they're suing the judge, who didn't look favorably on the pastor. Said, "Oh yeah, your rights were not violated. This isn't here," and then essentially dismissed him. So that bothers me too. Like, fuck, you can't even count on the judges.
Yeah, that's a real problem when and it's a problem in a lot of places. The judges basically just determining when they feel like following the law and when they don't, and having no consequence for just completely disregarding the law.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they just convicted that one cop, and it was like, as much as that situation emotionally impacted everyone, that cop was not a murderer. He committed no crime. He did nothing other than what he was supposed to do as part of his job.
Yeah. And
the guy
how
that
do you
killed
how do you
himself
find
with
somebody
fucking-
guilty of how do you find somebody guilty of second and third degree murder? Shouldn't it be an either or situation?
Yeah, really, it should be. But I think it's one of those things where it's deliberately set up so they can stack sentences. Because like the sentences
that's so fucked
don't
up.
really matter in a lot of these states anymore. And so like somebody might be sentenced to like 10 years for rape or whatever, and then they'll be out on the street like 3 days later. So it's like it doesn't even fucking matter what they are. So they figured out how to stack more and more sentences on, because otherwise people don't serve any actual time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too much getting let out for overcrowding / good behavior kind of shit.
And yeah, total nonsense. Like, it really wouldn't be a problem to me if it was specifically non-violent, non-repeat offenders. Like, it's somebody's first time, they're in there because they bought a little fucking cocaine or some heroin or whatever, but they didn't, hurt anybody. They didn't, they weren't carrying around like a gun. They weren't doing anything super dangerous. They just were, buying some drugs. Then yeah, okay, you let that guy out because there's not enough room to keep everybody you want to keep in the prison, because why, and fine them a couple $100 or whatever, really move on. It's not like they did something so terrible. But it's like the fucking like, child molesters and the rapists and the murderers. It's like they picked the worst.
I think they even let them go too, like the really bad ones, because they didn't want to have like the inmates in there in case of coronavirus and stuff. So a lot of people got out early. So and some
a lot
some
of
them
people
didn't
were
even go.
released because they had coronavirus. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, and some didn't even have to go to jail at all. So
some of them were even put into.
Yeah, well,
a lot of them were
dude,
put into institutions, and like old folks' homes, as well.
Well, that dude in Atlanta, the one that had fallen asleep or passed out drunk in the fucking Wendy's drive-thru, that later, stole the taser from the cop and ended up getting shot and killed.
Yeah.
He was one of those early releases. He didn't have COVID, but he was one of the releases because of COVID.
Yeah.
That dude was fucking
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
in
I
jail
remember
for
talking
like
about
beating his kids.
Where everybody
in
was
jail
like,
for,
but so he
beating his kids and
tased the
shit.
cop. Why did the cop shoot him? That's insane. It's like, no, that's really fucking out of your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I for one am glad we did not find out what he might have done had they just been like, oh, I guess we'll just let him go. We wouldn't want to shoot the guy. Because he could have easily caused much more fucking damage, dude.
Dude, that's kind of crazy. Sensoko works for Home Depot, and when the whole COVID thing went through, they actually did tons of paid sick time, extra money to child care. They made it free to talk to the doctor, over the telephone thing. And they pushed the whole distancing and hand washing parts, the parts that actually mattered. I'm like, that's kind of impressive, because you would think that a lot of these bigger corporations would just not really give a shit. Like, post some signs, hand out some masks, and fucking, I did my job.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, the DoorDash driver that sampled each of the fucking items I ordered, the one time I got where he ate like one piece of each thing I ordered, they didn't even want to hear that. DoorDash didn't give a shit. They didn't believe me. So, I mean, that's the people that are delivering food. Clearly, they don't give a shit, because that was in the height of COVID.
Right.
So it was like, I don't want to fucking eat this food. This dude might fucking, like, oh man, that was one of those things that was so weird to me, because it just took so long to figure it out. Before I was like, wait, there's only 5 chicken nuggets in this box, and there should be 6. And there's only 2 egg rolls, and there should be 3. Wait a fucking second. This motherfucker took one thing out of each box. Oh man!
Like you won't notice this.
Because then it was all even, you know, like so it wouldn't be like more egg rolls in one set of egg rolls than the other set.
Not surprising the slice.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Because I was stoned off of my ass, and I hadn't really used DoorDash very much, so I was like, I'm just gonna get all the finger foods from this place, and so I got this like ridiculous order that I wouldn't have finished for like a fucking week.
Yeah, my son uses that shit all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got.
Oh, 99% of the drivers are probably
he
fine.
ordered. Yeah, he ordered fucking. He'll order shit like mozzarella sticks and just mozzarella sticks and curly fries from Arby's. Have that delivered.
Yeah. Yeah, I generally don't care much for a lot of the burgers at like burger places, but like, you know, Jack in the Box has those like mini tacos and the fucking egg rolls and the big Munster tacos and like some jalapeno poppers and shit. They got a whole bunch of finger food stuff that's great. Or like Wendy's.
Soundboard with the fucking Munsters theme song, dude. Sorry, go ahead. I won't dwell on it anymore, dude, but it still cracks me up every time, dude.
Oh, man. Or like Wendy's. Like, why would you go to Wendy's if you're not going to get like a baked potato or like the chili, you know? Why not do the one thing you can't get at any other fast food joint?
There's this one Chinese store I used to go to, and they served peach shrimp. Fucking loved it. Yeah, it's like, you know, breaded shrimp, but with a cream sauce with peaches. Oh, it's delicious.
That sounds good.
Oh man, I've been craving that something fierce.
Dude, I waited too long in life to try weird shit like that, and I'm just too old. Like getting a fucking chicken salad that has like walnuts and fucking grapes in it or apples. Like
chicken salad with grapes and walnuts, dude. That's so fucking good. I love that shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's too foreign to me, dude. It's kind of like the candy, like Mexican candy with fucking hot shit in it. I just waited too long to ever try it, and it's just so fucking weird to me that I can't I just can't like it.
See, okay, walnuts.
Anyways,
walnuts seems doable to me. That doesn't seem nearly as bad, but everything else sounds a bit much.
Yeah.
But then, I'm the type
chunks of grape and apple in it, dude.
Like I'm the kind of guy who doesn't
mayonnaise?
like. Yeah, well, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like raisins and things.
I love raisins and things, like especially like sweet rolls.
Yuck! Like if you put
I don't mind them sweet rolls.
Like I like raisins. Raisins are fine. I just don't like them in things. Like raisins in ice cream.
What about
disgusting.
oatmeal cookies?
Oh, raisins on their own, you're down with though.
Yeah.
You know what? I used to not mind oatmeal raisin cookies until I had oatmeal cookies with butterscotch chips, and now that's the only way I can eat oatmeal cookies.
Oh.
Oatmeal cookies with butterscotch chips is fucking great, dude.
I love sprinkling raisins on rice checks. I'll just sprinkle some raisins on the top of that with the cereal. Oh, that's so good. Or I'll buy plain bran flakes and put raisins on them because I don't like the Raisin Bran because they coat their raisins with sugar. Like, they're fucking sweet already. I don't need a fucking coating of sugar on something that's already sweet.
Yeah, they're fucking condensed grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, grapes are already pretty sweet before they turn them into raisins, dude. Yeah.
It's like sugar on dried pineapple. For the longest time, I couldn't find anywhere that had dried pineapple without sugar on it. But yeah, on just plain raisins on bran flakes, fucking amazing. So good.
I know, like, I've been to a couple people's Thanksgivings and Christmas dinners and Easters and all that, and they'll have, like, a turkey and they'll have stuffing and they'll put raisins in the stuffing. I can't stand it.
I prefer cranberries.
Oh,
if you can put cranberries in the stuffing, that's pretty good.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah.
Just
Like
the
actual
revulsion in your
cranberry-
voice,
You're not
man.
talking
That
about
was
cranberry sauce.
you were like
Not cranberry sauce,
No.
but actual cranberries.
yeah, like you just put like dried cranberries, or just like cut them in, cut a bunch of
Dried
cranberries in half
cranberries.
and put them in there.
Like I'm the weird guy in that.
Raisins, you mean?
Craisins, yes.
Like I'm the weird guy. Like if I get a hot dog, I just have the hot dog in the bun. I don't put anything else on it. That's the kind
Oh,
of guy.
my son is, dude. He uses
Yeah.
0 condiments, dude. Or if he gets nuggets, no sauce.
It took me years to put anything else on a burger. Like if I had a burger, I just want the bun in the burger. And then like it wasn't until like my 20s I actually started putting cheese on it. And now that
wow.
I'm in my I know, right? And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like now I'll put on some lettuce. Like I'll eat a proper burger when I'm good and old. That's when I'll have proper burgers, and by then I probably won't have any teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rarely eat a burger with lettuce, dude. Whataburgers is like the only burgers that I eat that I like keep the
I always
lettuce on.
get
Even
burgers
that's
with
like
whatever they'll put on it, and like however it comes. So like if I order like the bacon cheese tomato burger, then whatever comes on it, I'm good.
Yeah, I rarely onions. I'll be in the mood for sometimes. Like when I get like a double stack from Wendy's. Like sometimes I'll get the onions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm in the mood for that. Tomatoes is incredibly rare, and there has to be bacon on the burger. I like bacon.
Yeah.
I like tomatoes with bacon, dude.
But like any
incredibly
combination.
rare.
So like I would eat a burger with just tomatoes and bacon, or I would eat it with lettuce and tomatoes and bacon, or without the bacon and onions.
Yeah. Onions.
I'm the
and,
same
and
with
tomatoes,
pizza. I don't have
again,
like a favorite kind of
incredibly
pizza.
rare.
I order different toppings every single time.
Me, I
I'm
just
always
get
pepperoni. Well, no, I like sausage and fucking like
Meat
bell
lovers.
peppers or jalapenos and shit like that. Meat lovers is great.
I prefer like a really salty dish, so I actually always get mine with bacon and feta.
Yeah. I once got
Get anchovies, dude.
No.
I once got dried tomatoes, like sun-dried tomatoes, pineapple, artichoke hearts, and mushrooms, and then I had them do like the white sauce. Like that was pretty darn tasty.
Yeesh.
That's probably the weirdest one.
Yeah,
I've
it's weird
gotten.
because I like things. I really enjoy things that are made with mostly tomatoes, like ketchup or fucking, marinara sauce, pizza sauce, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, just tomatoes by themselves, I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I love a
don't
good
like
BLT.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I just do bacon and lettuce, dude, and mayonnaise, obviously.
The only time I'll eat like a good feast on tomatoes is if I make like pico de gallo, like Mexican salsa. Like I'll have that, but like I can't stand some stores will sell pico de gallo in like a jar or whatever. Can't stand it. Disgusting. I can only eat it fresh. It's the same thing with guacamole. I can't eat it if it was
guacamole. I love making fresh guacamole. I would never
Dude,
eat
holy
pre-made
fuck, dude.
guacamole if I have the option. I will always eat fresh.
Yeah, like when we came back
Yeah,
from
it's fucking
Mexico.
really easy to make, dude.
Yeah. Well, like when we came back from Mexico, we bought a bunch of the stuff to try it out, see if we can, remind ourselves of being there. And I
Yeah.
just couldn't stand it. Like the color and the texture of the guacamole was gross.
Yeah. Once it's been stored for a while, so if you store your guacamole right, it'll still be good for like 2 or 3 days. But you got to basically just squeeze. If you use lime juice, squeeze some lime juice over the top. Or if you use lemon juice, squeeze some lemon juice over the top, and then leave saran wrap touching the top, and it'll actually maintain that texture and taste for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay.
But that's the only way to do it. It's kind of a pain in the ass. It's better to just make enough that you don't have leftovers.
Yeah, I just usually go on a big feast. My mom, she can't stand it, so like it's always too much for me. But I try my best to finish her off.
Ooh. Oh, bacon patty.
For mine,
Oh.
whenever I make it, I literally just use I'll fry up a bunch of fresh jalapenos. Cut them up and whatever, fry them up. That and the avocado, and then like a little bit of mayonnaise for like the texture. And that's fucking all you need, dude. Really, it's Oh, and cilantro. Sorry, I really cut up the cilantro really fine. Yeah, that's fucking good.
I did a diet guacamole recipe that actually wasn't terrible, and it was you replace like a third of the avocado with cottage cheese, and it sounds weird, but it actually kind of works. It was actually pretty all right. I mean, I would still rather have just real guacamole, but it was pretty decent for a low-fat version.
Yeah. I forgot I put a little sour cream in it, too. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. I always just do
sometimes
lemon juice.
Just a little bit of mayonnaise.
I was just use lemon juice, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, diced onion, and finely diced tomato bits. That's my guacamole.
Yeah, I don't again tomato. Actually, I never mind tomato in guacamole. So
well, I'm talking like a 1/4-inch square when I'm saying finely diced. So like a little 1/4-inch cube would be the largest piece of tomato you'd ever get out of there in one tomato chunk. And I don't put a ton of them in there. It's mostly just to get the tomato acidy flavor in. So like if I'm making a big batch of guac for like the whole family to throw on something. There might be like 2 cherry tomatoes diced like that in there.
I'm a little more generous on that. I mean, I'll put in a full Roma tomato.
I would put in more tomato, but my family wouldn't like it. But I at least get the flavor in there from it.
Mm.
It's like you also, because before you dice it, at least I do it because it's their cherry tomatoes, squeeze the juice in.
Mm.
And then just dice the flesh because the juice is just going to mix in. It's not going to be anything. You won't even notice.
I'm always taking out like the juicy bits of the tomato because I thought it might be too much. So I don't know. Maybe I should try leaving the juice in.
Just depends on how watery or how thick it is going to be if you do it. I mean, for me, it's not because I'm only adding 2 little cherry tomatoes. But I think if you were adding a bunch of tomato, you might want to not squeeze the juice in.
Yeah, I don't really want it to be too watery, so because I put in like a full lime.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother squeezing. You're putting in enough tomato though. See.
Yeah,
if I'm making it just for me, there's a lot more tomato.
Yeah, well, I mean, like for me,
and
like
bigger chunks too, because I just like tomato. So,
like the last feed I had in guacamole, I had like 4 avocados. And that was pretty much a meal just for me. I'm like, I think because it was way too much.
That's more guacamole than I would try to eat.
Oh man, it takes me a while. I don't eat it all. I'm like, I'll eat maybe half. Yeah.
2 avocados of guacamole is enough for my family of 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I made a little too much.
But it's usually like with we're having it on like quesadillas or on like nachos or something or burritos or tacos. So it's more of a condiment, I guess. To be fair, like we're not just having guacamole as the whole meal.
Yeah, I was treating it more like.
I love it with the fucking. I love it with the turkey and baby Swiss sandwich, dude. Throw some guacamole on that. That's fantastic.
Ooh, yeah, turkey and baby Swiss with guacamole.
Oh, and bacon. Sorry, of course, bacon.
Oh, yes, talking about bacon. Sensoka was saying it's really good to cut bacon bits up and mix them into your burger patties when you're making your own homemade burgers. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking do that next time. Because I love that idea of getting that flavor and not having to deal with like the weird strips. And sometimes they're like tugging out and they don't want to like bite through or
yeah, you almost have to cut the bacon into like thirds before you cook it, or after, whatever.
It's a pain in the ass just stacking it up there, especially because I like me a little avocado, lettuce, onion, and tomato on my burger, maybe some pickle too.
I've never thrown the bacon in there, but when I make burgers I like to put in like some salsa, like picante sauce or something, and actually a little bit of A1 and some fresh cilantro.
I throw in like breadcrumbs and an egg and like some Worcestershire sauce along with all the seasonings.
Yeah, I don't. I'll put an egg in to help bind it, although it's not completely necessary. But when you're putting all that kind of shit, it kind of is. You know what I mean? When if you're putting in like fucking
if you're adding other stuff to your burgers.
If you're just cooking the meat itself,
I like the breadcrumbs. I like the breadcrumbs because it helps to seal the juices in. So you don't. It's not a lot. It's not like you're doing a meatloaf by any means. You know, you're only putting in like a couple of tablespoons for your whole family-sized portion of burgers. But just a little bit in there kind of helps seal more juices in. Oh, so good.
Yeah, usually when I make meatballs, I never make meatloaf. I don't know why, but when I'm making meatballs for like spaghetti, I definitely put bread in the fucking.
It's similar to that. Yeah, I think proportion-wise, because you just a little bit of breadcrumbs. Another fun one to do with burgers is you take and chop a bunch of onions into just little onion strips, and you make your burger patty, and then you just smash a layer of onion into the burger patty on one side and cook it that way, where the onions are kind of like the one side of the burger patty is made of onion. Get it really good and caramelized. I really like that's a fucking... Like that. That's fucking good. I'm not big on raw onions, but cooked onions, I like that. Caramelized they're cooked. Well, unless you get them too deep. If you're just doing like a single layer, they're cooked. If you get them too deep, then there's some that are not all the way cooked in the middle. But I just like putting one layer of onion on the
I would cook
side
them
of the patty.
separately a lot. I would cook them like...
either way. It's just kind of a fun way to make like a funky, fancy-looking burger.
Yeah. Shit. I feel like we don't talk about food enough, dude. We used to do it all the time, dude, but...
I did some braised pork tenderloin tonight. So, because I didn't want to use the oven, so I just took we have a deep-sided, big, wide pan. It's like 3 or 4 inches, or 5 inches, I'd say, on the edges. And it's cast iron with an enamel coating. And what you do is you cook all your food in there, you brown off the meat, you put in like an inch or two of liquid, and then you like let it simmer all day long, and it's way better than oven cooking most cuts of meat. It's so fucking good. And then you'd reduce the liquid that's left. You pull everything out, because obviously you put in like carrots and celery, onions, potatoes, whatever you're cooking with it. And you reduce that liquid down and thicken that for your gravy. Oh, that's fucking amazing.
Good shit.
And it comes out like spoon tender. And most meats stay moist and just get cut them with the spoon. So nice. Best way in my opinion to do pot roast.
Sounds good. I don't think I've ever actually done a pot roast now that I think about it.
Yeah, I love pot roast because it's literally like, other than the biscuits, if you decide to have biscuits, you don't have to. It's a nice combo. Everything cooks in one pan if you're braising the pot roast. All your root vegetables, your onions, your garlic, everything. It's all in one pan, and it just sits there all day. It's just 20 minutes in the morning, and you got fucking top shelf dinner.
Throw it in a crock pot.
Yeah, you can do it in a crock pot too. Either way. I like braising because then you can like brown everything, so you can caramelize any onions, cook down any mushrooms, and then sear the edges of the meat all in the same pan. I like to glaze it with a little bit of wine. And then add some water and the root vegetables that I'm cooking with it, if they are, any other kind of veggies, and just let it go all day on a simmer. It's essentially the same as a crock pot, except you can't sear in a crock pot.
Right. But I kind of like having everything just kind of stew in its own juices, dude. And other juices too, obviously. But
yeah, tomorrow I'm making another crock pot recipe with just a couple chicken breasts and a couple cans of cream of mushroom soup with some onions and mushrooms and some seasoning in there, and then that's just going to go over like rice or pasta. Then I'll have like a vegetable on the side.
Yeah, I think it's my son wouldn't eat pot roast, so I think that's the main reason I don't fucking make it.
Oh yeah, if he's always going to eat it but you, then it's I don't think they sell small pot roasts.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a 1 or 2 serving kind of fucking meal. Yeah.
I know, God, like dozens and dozens of recipes. I should do a fucking cooking channel someday.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
fucking
millions
A,
of them out there, but it'd be fun to just put down all the recipes I do so I could like refer back to it.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, I forgot about that one.
Exactly. Like, how did I make that the last time I made that? Because I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't cook that very often.
Yeah. Be a good replacement for your memory.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, there's one thing I eat.
My son has
yeah?
fucking... No, I was just going to say, my son had weird taste. Cause,
yeah.
Like, he actually likes pork tenderloin better than, like, a fucking really good steak.
Oh, wow, that is kind of weird.
So, which pork tenderloin is really fucking good.
Pork tenderloin's really fucking good.
But, yeah, really good fucking, like, ribeye or fucking, like a New York steak or filet mignon, whatever. A good cut of steak. A really good cut of steak.
Yeah, I'd much rather have the steak.
Still better than that. Oh, even because sometimes they'll sell steak tenderloin, which is fucking fantastic.
I don't think I've ever seen steak
really
tenderloin.
Good in.
I don't think they sell it in California.
Not, just beef tenderloin, not steak tenderloin.
No, I've never seen beef tenderloin either.
Yeah, it's rare, but once in a while they'll have
it's sort of like how tri-tip in California
on
is a thing, but it's not really anywhere else. I think it's one of those things where California just doesn't do beef tenderloin.
Yeah, well, it's again pretty rare that it comes here. It's like every few months the Fries here will sell it, and it's cool because it's almost always on sale when they have it. Because normally it's like $20 to $22 a pound.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Big.
No, I get that it's rare. Thing. I do the shopping and have for a couple of years. It's not ever sold here.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, it's fucking. Basically, I'll cook it. I'll rub it down on the outside with olive oil and put the seasoning shit on there. And like the first I forget 15 to 20 minutes, I have it at the higher temperature. Like I'll cook it at like 450 somewhere in that area. So it kind of seals the shit in, and then you slow cook it for like 40 minutes at like 325 or 350. Yeah, and that way, because the outside's, obviously is kind of a crusted, not crusted, but whatever, shit's sealed in. And then like the inside is just all like reddish, pinkish, dude. Like it's about maybe a half an inch is like fully cooked, all the way around, and then all the shit in the middle is just a beautiful.
You know what's interesting?
Color, dude.
You can do that cooking process reversed, and it works just as good. Slow cook it for like 2 or 3 hours, and then cook it really hot for like half an hour at the very end. Either way, as long as there's a long period of slow cooking and a short period of hot cooking, it fucking works great.
Yeah, I guess I always just figured doing the hot cooking first kind of seals in shit more. Which
that's the standard that most people think. I've seen it in a couple cooking magazines, so I tried it with a bunch of different stuff, and it works both ways.
It's pretty much the same either way.
Yeah, as long as you have as long as there's a long period of slow cooking and a short period of really hot cooking, it works great.
Yeah. Right on. It's probably best I do it that way because I can keep my attention span for 15 to 20 minutes.
There's no wrong way. Neither way is wrong. Neither way is wrong. They both come out delicious.
Yeah.
It's weird.
If it ends up the same either way, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the very first time I tried it with pork chops, and it was like, oh, this is amazing. It's the same. Like, it's just as good as long as you cook, the right amount of time.
Yeah.
It's just...
pork chops, obviously, you don't want to fucking leave medium rare, but yeah, for sure. You definitely want to make sure you cook that shit fully.
You can cook pork chops till they're a little pink in the middle, depending on the pork chops you get. Some pork chops are kind of like pork tenderloin. So, like, there's a little pink in the middle when it's done, still. And then some pork chops we want to cook all the way till it's, like, white all the way through. I mean, if you're really nervous about it, check the temperature. I think as long as you get it to about 145, you're safe. I mean, the USDA standard is 160, but 145 is safe.
Yeah, they're always overly cautious with that shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and also, if you take it out and let your meat rest as a normal, sane human being and not a savage, and give it like that 5-10 minutes of rest time, it'll climb another 5 to 10 degrees.
Yeah.
So, like, you can take something out at about 150, and it'll reach 160 by the time you're cutting into it, as long as you let it rest.
Yeah. Yeah, the fucking ribs were on sale the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to come back in the next day or two, and then obviously forgot all about it. Because you can cook ribs really well just in a fucking oven, dude. You don't need some fancy smoker. I'm sure they're really fucking obviously better
oven
that
cook
way.
them, or you can
They're really
crock-pot cook
fucking
them.
good just cooking them in an oven.
Or you can crock-pot cook them too. Oh, it comes out really good.
Yeah, as long as you're cooking them, slowly at a low temperature, dude, they're gonna fucking come out good, dude. Really fucking low maintenance, dude. You know
the recipe we do for the crock pot is we chop up an onion, throw in, after you prep the pork chops, however you prep them, if you got to peel stuff off or not or whatever, depending on your own personal taste. Cut them so that they fit in the crock pot, dump the onion on top, pour a bottle of barbecue sauce in there, and just let them sit and cook all day. And then at the evening, like when you're ready to serve, you just take them out, give them another brush with some fresh barbecue sauce, and hit them with the broiler in the oven to get a little crust on them, like that little caramelized kind of barbecue sauce glaze on it. Oh yeah, it's the way to go. It's basically the same thing as if you're cooking them in the oven, like a normal like oven cooking. It's just in a crock pot, so less heat in your house if you're living in a hot place.
The first time I did the broil thing, the recipe that I was following.
Oh yeah, you cooked them for 30 fucking minutes.
15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, it said like 20 minutes, and then like turn them over and do that again. And I checked it after that, dude. After 15 minutes, obviously they were burnt. Fucking, obviously a burnt fucking crust over all of them. Which luckily I could scrape most of it off, and I salvaged a pretty decent amount of shit. But goddamn,
yeah, like 2 or 3 minutes is enough to cook like a steak on one side under a broiler, man. You got to be real fucking careful with those.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I was like, what the fuck was this place
all right,
thinking?
later, man.
Yeah,
take care, guys.
Bye, brother.
Should rename it the Fat Guys Talk About Food Show.
Here's another great meal I once had.
Ooh, I'll tell you the one thing I ate that I can almost guarantee nobody but me likes. Like most people have ravioli, they got like meat or cheese or something in there. I'm the guy that buys those squash ravioli, and then I'll just drizzle just a little bit of olive oil on them, and then sprinkle on a little Parmesan cheese. That's it. That's all they need.
Wow. You know what's really good, which is it's not ravioli, but it's incredible. It's very similar at the end. Is a Polish thing called pierogies.
Oh, I love pierogies.
Pierogies. Yeah, dude, my grandmother used to make them because again she's Polak, and the Polish recipe calls for. It's the same shit, it can be fucking potato, it can be, cheese or whatever the other shit that you normally see. Yeah. But my grandmother would put like sauerkraut in them.
Ooh. Well, that sounds good.
I don't know, it sounds kind of gross, but it's fucking amazing.
Oh, I love sauerkraut.
I can't find her recipe. I want her recipe because
I like
fucking make them, dude.
I like eating sauerkraut as it was originally intended. Where it's not like a condiment, it's just you have like a portion of sauerkraut on the plate like a side vegetable. Like, I'll do that. That's great.
Yeah, and the Polish sauerkraut, they actually put little chunks of bacon in the sauerkraut.
Ooh, well, that sounds good.
Yeah. So basically, you have pierogies filled with sauerkraut with little chunks of bacon in it, dude.
You know what? If you're going to add stuff to the sauerkraut, can I throw in some pickled onions? That sounds weird, maybe, but I kind of like that idea. I mean, it's a similar texture and taste. You just get a little more spicy.
Yeah, well, again, I'm not big on onions, so...
I think that would be good. Because they usually pickle the little pearl onions for like cocktails. I just slice them in half and then throw them in stuff all the time. Oh, I love me some pickled onions. Or pickled carrots and jalapenos. I used to love snacking on cans of those.
Oh, yeah. Some good shit.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't
Hot or
stand,
just regular
what is that thing that you make with the cabbage and the sweet dressing? Coleslaw. I cannot fucking stand coleslaw.
Oh, I don't like coleslaw.
So I
I
will take some sauerkraut out of my own personal jar of sauerkraut and put it in place of the coleslaw whenever we're having like coleslaw kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes it's okay. Like sometimes, like on a barbecue sandwich, like I think it's the Carolina style. I guess they actually put coleslaw on on like a barbecue pulled pork sandwich.
If it's served with something and it's already like an established recipe, I'd be willing to give it a try. I may not like it, I don't know. I would at least try it once. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't like. I'm not a big fan. I don't hate it or anything, but I'm not a big fan of just coleslaw as like a side or condiment or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
But on a sandwich, I don't like
coleslaw in general. I can't stand it, but I could see it potentially being like a really good complement to something really salty or savory. With the sweetness.
Barbecue. Yeah, like a barbecue.
And
that must be the idea
crisp
behind
crunch
it.
of it too. I think that might work. I just can't eat it as a side.
Yeah. Yeah, I can stomach about 2 like half mouthfuls, and then I'm like, all right, that's enough of that shit.
Yeah.
So like,
like if it's to be polite, like somebody's like,
oh,
but you haven't tried my coleslaw yet. It's like, motherfucker, don't you get it?
Yeah, is your coleslaw?
Because if it is, I just told you I don't like coleslaw.
Yeah.
It's like my mom hates.
Yeah, that is the weirdest thing.
My mom hates peanut butter, and there's all sorts of people throughout the years who have tried to like sneak her like peanut butter cookies or something, or things where there's just a little bit of peanut butter. There's not that much. You know, because they don't believe that she just does not fucking like peanut butter.
That is kind of hard to believe. Peanut butter is pretty awesome, but yeah, why would?
There's good reasons.
I never understood that.
I'm sure, you know.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't like chocolate.
Some people have the unique taste.
Yeah, some people don't like chocolate. I knew a dude who really didn't like chocolate.
Yeah. No, it's just a personal. Everybody's got their own weird shit. But I would never fucking even think of doing that. But like, oh, you don't like peanut butter? Well, here, try this with thing that has peanut butter in it.
Yeah, that's the part I don't get. They're like, but it's not that much peanut butter. It's only a little peanut butter. It's like, no, you don't. Don't you understand? She doesn't fucking like peanut butter at all. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is peanut butter, right? Yeah,
it's like not like you said.
Well, I like peanut butter. If it's just
allow me to repeat this louder and slower. Yeah. No, I knew a guy when I was blues dancing who hated sugar. Just like anything sweet.
Oh wow!
Like he would not have anything sweet. Did not like that flavor.
That's kind of unfathomable to me, dude.
Yep, he was also a Buddhist monk who taught blues dancing, dude. I mean, the guy was fucking weird. And when I say Buddhist monk, I don't mean like ha ha ha, he's just playing the game. I mean, motherfucker lived in a fucking monastery and would fucking travel to go teach blues dance.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't some kind of trendy thing.
He was real straight committed to being an actual Buddhist monk. Oh, nicest guy too. Just so fucking weird. Like, would not eat sugar.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't. Even when I was constantly smoking pot, I didn't really eat a whole lot of sweets. But then with the opiates,
fresh fruit is the fucking bomb. Like grapes.
Oh my god! I think
strawberries, like really good strawberries, where you don't have to add any sugar.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite thing, me and my brother, like one of our favorite things when we were high though was fucking brownies and fucking grape juice.
I get it.
Grape
sweet and sour. It's kind of the grape juice has a kind of weird sort of sour. Oh, actual grape beverage. So it would have been just sweet then.
Yeah. The stuff they should just call purple juice because it's nothing actual
grape
really
about
it.
Like grape. It just tastes like sugar and purple dye number 6.
Yeah. not as catchy, I guess. I guess I know why they didn't call it purple drink or purple juice. But yeah, for some reason, man, when we were fucking stoned, that was the greatest thing ever, dude.
I've never had brownies with juice. I do know that
I'd never have under any other circumstance, dude.
I do occasionally like orange juice and donuts together.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But it's never.
Yeah,
more than
no,
like
dude, I've never eaten brownies with anything but milk under any other circumstances, dude. But for some reason, dude, grape juice, fucking grape drink, and
I've
fucking
also
brownies
done cereal with
when we were
yogurt.
high.
I don't know if you've ever done cereal with yogurt, but that's really good.
No.
Like just a plain vanilla yogurt.
Like what kind of cereal are you talking?
Any kind of cereal mixed in. It's just this really weird difference in the texture that just makes it like luxurious, I guess is the best way to put it.
Nice.
But like the absolute best is like vanilla yogurt with Cheerios in it. Oh yeah. Just plain Cheerios and vanilla yogurt that's a great combination.
Yeah.
But
Like
you might not
yogurt.
think it. It's a
I don't
weird
know if that's what
texture.
you're talking about, but well, I can kind of handle some of that shit sometimes. That's something that would be worth a shot.
It's one of those things that happens when you're a teenager and you're out of milk and you really want some fucking Cheerios for breakfast.
Right.
And there's some fucking plain yogurt in the fridge, and you're like, well, I don't fucking what? It's made from milk.
Yeah. Necessity is the mother of invention, dude.
Yeah. Or like peanut butter on frozen burritos. That's one that's really good.
Now you're losing me.
Not a lot, just a little.
I'm sorry, that's just one.
I got that one from a
stick with
friend of
sour
mine.
cream and
I was
sauce
at my friend's house one time. This is the guy that was like a sociopath. And I feel I need to include that when it kind of helps to make this more believable. And he was having microwave burritos, and he just broke out a jar of peanut butter and put a little like half a spoonful on top of each burrito, and it kind of melted and, spread out over the top of the thing. And he was like, nah, this is really good. And I was like,
It sounds disgusting, dude, but obviously.
I thought the same thing when I saw the first time I saw somebody do ketchup on mac and cheese. I was at work at the time, and I was having a meal with the clients, and so I had to step in and be like, hey, look, if you haven't tried it, it's not fair to judge. And even then, everybody likes things different. He's not making you eat your mac and cheese with ketchup. And then I tried some on mine, and I was like, that's actually really fucking good. Like, holy shit, I love it.
I normally, that might be because I'll put hot sauce, like Louisiana hot sauce or Red Devil or something like that, in mac and cheese, and that's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like a little bit of ketchup with the hot sauce would probably be really fucking good.
Yeah, you're not.
I gotta try that
it's
next
not
time.
like you take a ladle of ketchup and just pour it over the top of the mac and cheese. You're just drizzling a little on.
Yeah. It's kind of probably similar to what I do with the hot sauce, just a little bit.
It kind of just gives a little
kinda
sweet, savory, salty kind of flavor.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if you've ever seen like Korean cooking. Because I've been inundated with Korean cooking on YouTube, so I have actually sadly watched a few of the videos at this point because I caved in. Some of the stuff just looked too fucking weird not to like see what the fuck was going on. But Koreans use sugar like we use salt. Also mayonnaise. So like there are a lot of dishes where they'll just add a tablespoon of mayonnaise and a tablespoon of sugar as part of the flavor. Like they're making a stir fry with like chicken and vegetables and shit, and they'll just sprinkle in a tablespoon of sugar and a couple tablespoons of mayonnaise. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen.
That sounds bizarre,
right?
Yeah,
but I'm sure that the food comes out good. They're human beings. They have mouths and tongues, presumably same or similar enough as to be almost undifferentiable to the rest of us humans. So that's got to taste good to a certain percentage of everyone, really. Even if they've never tried it. Like, if they did, they would like it. They just never tried it. I haven't brought myself to trying any of it, though. I don't think I will.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah.
I might order Korean
fuck.
takeout if there's somewhere that does Korean takeout, and then I don't have to be the one that added it, so I don't have to think about it being in there when I eat the food. But I don't think I could make myself
I think I've
pour a tablespoon of sugar on a savory dish.
I think I've eaten like Korean barbecue, maybe.
Yeah. A lot of people
about
have
it.
Korean barbecue.
And again,
That's the
incredibly
thing
rare.
that's like the most common Korean food that anyone will find. I don't know that you could necessarily find a lot of the other dishes. They love Spam too. Koreans fucking love Spam. They make a lot of things with Spam.
They're like Hawaiian. Hawaiian a lot
Yep.
of shit with Spam, apparently.
For similar reasons too, because of the military stuff that went on in Korea, the war. Everybody got like lots of Spam while they were like, getting emergency rations from the States, because Spam fucking lasts and travels really fucking well. And it's a lot of calories in a very small can.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're, just trying to keep people alive and you can
Yeah.
only transfer things via boat or plane, a small can of Spam goes a lot further than a big fucking can of something else.
Yeah, even just cooking it over like rice or that, that kind of shit.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff where it's like Spam, rice, and then like vegetables and stuff like wrapped up in like sort of a sushi style with like seaweed wrap, and a lot of stir fries where Spam is in there, and then also a lot of soups. They put Spam in a lot of noodle soups.
Spam soups.
The other thing they eat a lot of that like you wouldn't expect is like cocktail wieners. They call them sausage, but they're cocktail wieners.
Yeah, the Vienna sausage.
Yeah, the Vienna sausages. They're unmistakably cocktail wieners.
Right.
Yeah, but they put those in a lot of things too.
It sounds nice.
Yeah, and it's soups
Yeah,
especially.
it's weird that they do call that sausage.
Yeah,
it's essentially a little hot dog.
One of the fun ones you can look up that actually looks like it might be like fun to try once is the Korean Army stew. But that's more of a. It doesn't have the sugar. It has more spice. It's like a really spicy soup with like ramen and various different like vegetables, like some hot dogs and some Spam and some tofu and like onions and mushrooms and stuff like that. Like it just kind of. It looks really fun. I don't know. Of course, then one of the weird things is though when they're cooking their soups, they'll add in like a processed, like a square of processed cheese to the broth.
Wow, that's pretty nuts.
Yep. Although you know how you like if you need like a half a slice of cheese, like you're getting like the American cheese or whatever. I've never seen this before. I watched one of the cooking channels. But now I desperately want to try it because it looks amazing. He uses the back of a butter knife to cut the cheese through the wrapper. And then he unwraps it, and it's already in the pieces you need it in. You don't have to do the weird foldy Terry thing.
Yeah, that shit sticks together a lot, dude.
Yeah. And all he does is just use the back of the butter knife before he's opened. You just throw it down on the table and like cut it in half or quarters or whatever. And I was like, I've never seen that, and it's fucking brilliant. At least I think it is. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but give me time.
Yeah. Brilliant in its simplicity.
It's like, oh, you can just cut it before you open the package, and then you don't have to bend it and fold it over. I love this. Well, we have lost like all of our audience. We have food talked everybody completely away.
Right? Like, wow, they're still talking about it? All right.
I like to think everybody went and got like a midnight snack.
Yeah, we inspired them to.
They were just like, we talked
Go
about
try
food so
some weird
much that they
shit.
were like, God damn it, now I gotta go get some fucking chips. Or cook a pack of like a cup of noodles or something. Ooh, there's one. Have you ever tried cup of noodles where you crumble up potato chips into it?
No, but I do that with chili, like stag chili, like like a chili from a can.
Oh, I mix it with corn.
In fact, I just did it. Yeah, it's not
Like I'll
bad
cook
either,
cornbread and throw a square
Yeah,
of cornbread
crush
in the
up
chili
pumpkin.
and stir it in with. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good too. Although, yeah, cornbread's good. Yeah, I like cornbread. I don't eat it a lot, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Now
shit.
that I think about
But
it,
yeah,
though, I
I'd
bet like
crumble
corn
up
chips
just
or
some,
potato chips would be really fucking good, too. Because
yeah, dude, just a regular Lay's potato chips, just a the original Lay's potato chip shit. Just just crunch it up and throw it in there, mix it up.
oh
Because
yeah,
it gets all soggy and shit. It's fucking really good, dude.
it sounds good. I'll have to try it sometime. I think if you did that with
Yeah.
corn chips too, it would probably be also pretty tasty. I just assumed because like I know the cornbread is good. I was
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, you might get kind of like the best of both worlds. So now I gotta try it
Yeah,
once with
corn
the
chips,
fucking
cornbread.
once with the potato chips and once with the corn chips.
Invent cornbread chips.
Cornbread
Invent
chips.
that right now.
Patent it quick. Get your name on it. That's the next big snack. It's gonna be better than Cheetos, baby.
Yeah, cornbread.
We'll
chips.
make it cheesy garlic flavored, but not with powder on the outside, so it won't get your fingers all colored. So the gamers can have their cornmeal or cornbread chips while they're gaming and not have to worry about getting their controllers all dirty. That's how we'll do
Yeah,
it.
it's fucking brilliant, dude. Fuck yeah.
Let's think of that. Some cornbread.
We're gonna forget
chips
all
and
about
some,
this, but
some
right now-
Mountain Dew. It's the way to fucking go.
Yeah. This counts as a patent, so anybody that steals it, we're gonna sue the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Like anybody's listening.
Oh, you know the chili making the chips soggy makes me think of like that. That's good for some cereals. Like certain cereals, it's nice to let like soak in the milk for just a few moments to get like that outer soggy part. Like Captain Crunch. Because if it's
Crunch?
a little bit soggy just on the very outside
that's
edge,
exactly what I
it
was
doesn't
thinking.
fuck your mouth up when you're chewing it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know, it'll-
Captain Crunch is some good shit, but god damn, it will fuck your mouth up if you eat it too soon.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, when you like pour milk on a bowl of cereal, do you dunk all the fucking top layer?
Yeah.
Of cereal
I
into the
drizzle the milk over the whole top if I can, and then I'll use a spoon to dunk the top layer in. Just mix it in a little bit for a couple of minutes until it just gets that very outer edge soggy, especially with like things like Captain Crunch. Although I don't eat sugar cereals very often. Most of the time I eat like plain cereals, like with no sugar or anything, just some dried fruit. I don't know why. I fucking love the combination. But once in a while I'll have like a Captain
I like
Crunch or a
fresh
Cinnamon
bananas
Toast Crunch.
with
Cheerios?
Cheerios with a fresh banana, dude.
Yeah, Cheerios with fresh bananas or fresh
fucking-
strawberries, or even better, both. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got a fucking. They made a raisin bran with like dried banana in it, and that honestly. Is not
That
great.
sounds like it'd be good. I'd try that.
Yeah, it's okay, dude.
I might have to make my own dried banana though.
Yeah,
whenever
it's
I
probably better
bought
off.
dried banana, it tastes like it's too sweet. Like it doesn't say there's sugar added, but I'm left wondering if maybe somewhere in the process it's sweetened somehow that it's not. That we don't know about.
It could be similar to the grape to raisin thing, where it's just concentrating.
Oh no! Regular
sugar,
banana chips
'cause
that I make on my
banana's
own
pretty
are
sweet.
extremely sweet, but it's like a whole different level when
yeah.
you buy the store bought versus your own homemade. I don't know what the difference is, but
And most likely, store bought shit is probably gonna have more sugar added.
well, also I remember I
Here
did
in the
that
States,
keto
anyway.
diet for like 4 or 5 months, I think.
Right.
It drastically changed my sugar tolerance. Like there's definitely things that I just won't eat anymore because they're just too sweet.
Yeah, I don't have that issue. I wish I did.
Try keto
Fucking
for a couple months, dude.
tremendously.
It's crazy. Once you're completely off sugar for like a month or two, like lettuce, like regular like salad lettuce, tastes like very sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an iceberg lettuce?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about like romaine or something?
Like romaine, iceberg, butterleaf, and any kind you get. It all tastes sweet.
Any lettuce?
Yeah, it just all tastes sweet.
That's crazy.
Iceberg
dude.
doesn't taste as sweet as like a romaine, but it's still just a little hint of sweetness to the lettuce itself. Yeah. And when you're throwing in other vegetables like tomatoes and onions and everything just tastes super sweet. It's like eating candy almost. I shit you not. Or like, you go to the store and you buy those little packages of raspberries. Like, those are always super sour, right? Like, you got to add sugar to those raspberries before you do anything with them. But if you're on keto and you've been off sugar for like 3 or 4 months, they taste super sweet.
Interesting.
It's a drastic change in your sugar taste buds. It's weird because I think as an adult we grow up eating all these sweet things from being little kids, and it throws off our scales so young that we're just so used to it that you don't notice all these other flavors. And then once you've done keto for a while, or you've just gone off sugar for some reason, it readjusts and you're like, oh, and now this will always taste sweet to me because now I'm not expecting everything to be so damn sugary.
Yeah, I don't know why that. Well, I guess I know why I brought it up, but vanilla gelato with fucking strawberries.
Ooh, I've never had that, but it sounds amazing.
Really fucking good, dude.
Because I love vanilla ice cream with like fresh fruit on it.
Before. Yeah,
like all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like peaches or strawberries or whatever, just with like regular vanilla ice cream. It's delicious.
Yeah, because gelato is incredibly sweet, dude, and then you get a little bit of the tartness from the fucking strawberries.
Oh yeah,
it fucking offsets each other really fucking well, dude.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Just like oh man, it's just good.
Yeah. Gelato again, incredibly fucking sweet.
And now
more
the fat
fucking
people
even
have
ice
moved
cream.
on to dessert. We went through all the main courses and the side dishes. We're on to dessert.
Now we'll talk about second breakfast.
Yeah, like fucking hobbits.
We're like life-size fucking hobbits.
Yeah. Oh man. One of the things that's too sweet, but I used to love making, is you take and you cook like 2 thin layers of brownie, and then you freeze them, and then you take and shape a thin layer of peppermint ice cream into one of the brownie pans so that it's the same size, maybe like say about a 3/4 to an inch thick. Put that between the 2 brownies, and then you frost that with some cream cheese frosting. And you got your like a brownie fucking, or no, not cream cheese frosting, peppermint frosting. I don't know what the fuck I was saying cream cheese for. Like a little bit of buttercream that you just put a couple.
Not be bad either.
Actually, it might work, but I always did it with a little bit of buttercream that had a little peppermint mixed in, so a little peppermint icing. And that I could not make myself eat that right now. It would just be like too fucking sweet.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a big part of it for me is the fucking medication, like the opiate-like medications.
Oh yeah, that makes you crave sugar a lot.
Make you crave sweets.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that peppermint ice cream cake because like I haven't done it in a while. But then I was like, oh no, the last time we had brownies, I had like a brownie with a scoop of ice cream, and that was almost too much. Add that frosting and the peppermint. That's not going to work for me. I can't do that.
Yeah. If you're eating a brownie with ice cream, do you heat up the brownie, or you make sure the brownie's hot?
Oh, you gotta heat the brownie up. You gotta have, preferably just a fresh brownie, like not long out of the oven.
Yeah, I like the chocolate chunk brownies, the ones that have like chocolate chunks.
Oh yeah. Whatever kind of brownie you're making, you want it fresh out of the oven. That's the main part.
Dude.
Like, I wouldn't do it with frosted brownies.
Right.
Just because, like, the melted frosting would probably be kind of like,
Dude, listen to this. This will be entirely too sweet for pretty much everybody except me, probably. But I'll take the brownies from... I love the Safeway brownies. Like, they're almost fudge. They're so fucking thick and so fucking heavy.
Yes, I've
basically,
had
I'll take
Safeway
that.
brownies.
And that's my favorite kind of brownie. You know, it's that type of brownie. And,
yeah.
I love Safeway's brownies. All right, but anyways, basically, I'll turn it upside down. I take the fucking the little white chocolate Reese's, like not a full size, long, short.
Oh, the
like,
little mini ones that come in little
but
foil wrappers, the little tiny circle ones.
Yes, dude. Yeah, because there's like 4 sizes. They have the regular Reese's peanut butter cup type, and then they have the one that are wrapped individually in the little foil that are kind of tall and skinny. Yeah. They have the mini ones, which are they're not even wrapped up, and then they have these flat ones that are like basically they call them thins, I guess. It's essentially a Reese's peanut butter cup, but way shorter.
Oh, plus they have the extra thick Reese's peanut butter cups. That's 5 sizes, sir.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's probably even bigger ones than that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, so you take those medium-sized ones, the ones, again, individually wrapped little ones. I'll put like 4 or 5 of those, like press them into the brownie, and then fucking heat that up so those things get all melted and shit. And then I'll put fucking ice cream on top of that right out of the oven. And it's fucking, well, I have to drink a lot of fucking milk. I have to tone it down, but goddamn, it's so fucking good. But again, that is probably way too sweet for most normal humans.
Satan popped in for like at 11 o'clock just to pop in and tell Samaz that they were getting married, and we missed it. If you click on the link in the Discord, that's a 1 pound Reese's peanut butter cups. So 2 half-pound cups in one package that you can buy from Walmart for $25. Well, there's only one left.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Have you seen they make a fucking they make a peanut butter cup now that's just the peanut butter, like no chocolate on the outside. Just
why?
I don't know, dude.
I would never be interested in that. You can buy a 3-pound milk chocolate Hershey's bar for $20 from Walmart. Damn. Walmart got some big candy. You know what? I think I've seen like half-pound fucking peppermint patties too. Come to think of it.
Yeah, they have, or the giant Hershey Kisses. They'll make those too.
Oh, and then my brother
I don't know how much.
Just to screw with my sister one year, got her a 10-pound Hershey's bar for fucking Christmas.
Jesus.
She likes chocolate, so she just couldn't make herself throw it away, even though it was a ridiculous like amount of chocolate. That thing took for fucking ever. She must have had that thing for almost a year, easily. Yeah. I mean, it was.
Oh my god, crazy, dude.
Because like I know you can get those, like restaurants buy like 10-pound bars for like because they're cooking with them, in like big batches of stuff, right. So they need them sized that way. So, or like factories to do that, but like fucking buying a 10-pound bar of fucking chocolate was fucking insane.
Yeah, for personal use.
Yeah, I think you got it on like Amazon. Like, what would you do with that many? Oh yeah, Amazon. It's a pre-filled. You can buy a Guittard chocolate bar now for $80. Guittard is like a nice chocolate company out of San Francisco. For anybody who doesn't know, it's like gourmet chocolate. A 10-pound bar of that for $80 on Amazon.
Damn.
Or you can get a 10-pound bar of their gourmet bittersweet chocolate for $105.
Yeah, I was going to say bittersweet's more for cooking, I think. Because I remember eating like the cooking chocolate, thinking it would taste like the regular chocolate.
Oh yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
Like,
don't do that.
Yeah. Like eating that, what's that dark chocolate bar from like, somewhere from Europe, dude?
Oh, I don't know.
They did, because they would do like, similar to like a cinnamon challenge or that kind of shit. It was like, yeah, try to eat a whole one of this thing. It tastes like chocolate flavored chalk.
Oh, for $80 you can get an 11-pound bar of Callebaut's finest Belgian milk chocolate.
Ooh.
That's the biggest bar I could find on Amazon. I just was curious, like, how big they got. So 11 pounds is about all you can get in one bar. God, that's fucking... I may buy my sister another 10-pound bar of chocolate. I mean, she's gonna, like, punch me in the face for it, but, like...
Right. You saw what happened last time, God damn it.
Oh, man. Maybe I'll just get her a 1-pound block of Belgian chocolate. Keep all my teeth in place.
Belgian chocolate. Oh my god, dude. Oh shit, that's right.
It is Belgian milk chocolate, 1 pound per block, $25 a block.
Dude, the fucking in Carlsbad, like just down the road from the resort where we stay, where I'll be going next week. There's a place that sells bricks.
Little humble brag there. That resort
but
we're
they
going
fucking, to. Yeah, a little humble brag. Check me out. But there's a place just down the road that sells chunks of that shit. Belgian milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and white chocolate. All Belgian chocolate.
All three sound fucking amazing.
I
am a fan of all three of those things.
I'm not a big fan. I don't really like... Dark chocolate's okay.
I think of all three of those, dark chocolate is the one I like the best. I really like bitter dark chocolate, yeah. Like a good 60% mix.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I way prefer milk and white chocolate to dark chocolate.
Oh, you like things sweeter.
But yeah, they sell
that makes sense.
Dude, because when you're trying to cut that shit, you can't really cut it because it kind of breaks apart on you. If you have really good, you know what I mean, really good Belgian chocolate or any really good chocolate, I guess. Yeah, you can't really cut it. It just kind of like, again, I don't know how to describe it. But
the crystalline structure causes it to shatter instead of being cut.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to describe it. Because, like I said, I've had some really good chocolates before, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like you can shatter it,
almost into layers, but not like flat layers. Like it's almost like this weird curved layers, dude. I don't know. Again, maybe you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's bizarre, dude, and fucking fantastic. Good shit. Yeah, because we always bring shit back. It's the main thing we like give to people instead of like souvenirs and shit. We'll give them like a brick of that fucking chocolate. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how much it is because it's got.
Now I want to get me a pound of fucking
like 8 or 10.
Belgian chocolate, but I don't want to. I just bought that exercise bike. I'm not going to fucking buy.
Right. But yeah, that place is cool, man, because it's like a it's like a grocery store in the front, but it's a grocery store that is like all imported shit from all over the world, like mostly Europe, almost exclusively Europe. So you know, like you want a German bee sting cake fucking mix, like that kind of shit, you know. And obviously the Belgian chocolate, all these different fucking jams and jellies and shit from all over the world. Just again, when a lot of the shit you'd find in a normal grocery store, but from other countries. Then in the back they have like a restaurant, like they have a butcher area, you know, like a normal fucking store would. But like kind of right around the corner from that is a restaurant where they cook all kinds of shit. Like the guy who runs it or owns it is like some German dude. So it's a bunch of German dishes, like, you know, weird shit like sauerbraten and fucking, dude, their breakfast is amazing, dude. Their fucking sausage, their breakfast sausage, tastes like, almost like a fucking brat, like a lot, like a fucking bratwurst. Yeah, fantastic shit. Yeah, and every Saturday, I think it's Fridays, yeah, on the weekend basically, starting Friday night, they sell like a prime rib meal that's just amazing, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, and their breakfast for like $7 or $8, dude. They just fucking throw ridiculous amounts of fucking, you know, it's like 3 eggs, and then you get like fucking a couple pieces, you know, 2 or 3 sausages, a few pieces of bacon, and fucking. I just saw what you posted, dude.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I wasn't gonna say anything until you were
a
done
little
with
bit
your
of
story.
ham,
but-
sausage, and bacon for like $8, dude. And then toast, like 4 pieces of fucking toast, dude. And all of it's fantastic.
Oh, that sounds
It's
good.
like their bread that they make the toast out of.
Oh, that's what I want to get into right now. Like, I want to fucking get into making my own bread.
Yeah.
I've always loved
I
fresh
never have,
bread,
but yeah,
and making my own bread would be a lot of fun. I've made bread a few times, but I want to find like a good recipe and a good bread pan to make like a good sized loaf of bread, and then I could make like batches of it and fucking freeze it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think we might have hit that end there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we're 3 hours.
And I was gonna say it's about the time to
Time to
end,
call
and it seems like we're kind of petering out there. Everybody's